What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back to Omar BYT. And yeah, guys, big up to everybody in the chat. This absolute dickhead, man, actually decided to pop in here and actually making jokes at my expense. Whatever, bro. Whatever, man. But big up to everybody here. Listen, big ups to every single one of you guys. Welcome back to Two Ballers FC, the Premier League show, guys. Our favorite Premier League show. The gang is already here. Everybody's already here, guys. And big up to everybody who's here. And big up to Will, man. Before we get started, big up to Will. Big up to Football Carnage for the raid. Love every single time. Appreciate you for the raid, man. Every single time, bro. And listen, if you're new here from Football Carnage, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, guys. Make sure you guys subscribe. Big up to Carmen Sensei and every single one of you guys. Big up to Calcio. Big up to you every single time from Juve Corner Cast. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Juve Corner Cast. Big up to Yasir every single time. Big up to my guy King. Obviously, today, man, we're gonna talk about your club. And also, let me know if you want me to send you the link. I'll send you the link as well, man, because I do want to hear from a United fan. That absolute crazy performance we just saw earlier today. But listen, big ups to all of you. This midweek games, man, they were pretty good, Mikes. You're in a good mood, I'm sure. Prime, I'm sure you know. We'll see what mood you're in after what we saw yesterday. We'll talk about your team as well. But listen, like I said, there's been a lot of good games in the league this week. Unfortunately, I don't have the Arsenal and Spurs fans here to basically talk about, Arsenal and Spurs. But we all saw what happened. But before we get started, I do want to introduce, because I haven't actually introduced the panel yet. Mikes, how you doing, bro?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Who would have thought it? Who would have thought I'm doing good, man? I'm doing good, man. I'm just winning a game. It's nice. 3 points is nice. But yeah, always enjoying this show, man. Always enjoying this show. So thank you for having me on again, as always, man.
Absolutely, man. Every single time. Prime, my dude, what's going on, man? You're muted. You're muted. Could you try and unmute and
Am I still muted?
Yeah, you're good. You're good now.
Yeah, I'm good. Mike's relax, bro. We've all had terrorists leave our club, man. It's not that deep. I'm good. My fan base is a meltdown. People beefing each other. Mm-hmm. People don't want to say Maresca out because they're scared because it's not the popular opinion. You've got proper Chelsea beefing. Fator, it's crazy right now in the fan base. Yeah, man. I can't have a good season, kind of, as a Chelsea fan. I can't have a normal season.
It's just a normal season, huh? Yeah. I mean, look, we're definitely gonna get into it. But listen, guys, there's a lot of you guys here from Football Carnage. Big up to every single one of you. Like I said, big up to Football Carnage for the raid. Listen, I saw your game, man. You're in no condition to talk to me after what we just saw earlier today, man, from your team. I know you guys got the victory in the end, but you guys have to work for it. We're gonna get into that when we tomorrow on the rival show when I'm doing the show with you. But big up for you for the raid, man. Big up to you every single time. Big up to Luca every single time. Big up to Luca. Big up to you too. Don't worry, King. I'll send you the link soon. But listen, let's get into it very quickly, guys. I feel like the first game we should talk about, obviously, is the North London Derby, guys. Let's talk about the North London Derby because, look, that was I don't really know what to take out from that game from a neutral point of view. I know you guys are all, I mean, I wouldn't say you guys are neutral. Like, every one of you guys are London. You all support London clubs, so there's no neutrality, I'm sure. But for a neutral, man, I don't really know what to make of that game because what I really expected kind of happened. The scoreline, however, I got it wrong. I thought it was going to end in a draw. But in the end, Arsenal somehow walked out of that stadium with a victory, right? But basically, all the things we were basically saying about the game kind of came into fruition as far as the performance is concerned, goals were concerned, and also all-round play from both teams, right? Kind of the things that we were basically talking about both teams finishing kind of came into fruition, right? And at the end of the day. But I want to start with you, Mikes. What did you think of the performance? Now, what did you think of the game?
Yeah, I think this season has probably had two of the worst North London derbies I've watched. I think the reason why I say that is because despite the previous teams. I've always found it very entertaining as a derby, in terms of entertainment wise, and I see myself as neutral because I don't like either of them. My whole thing is with this game is that we saw the lack of quality. Like when I was looking at Arsenal Man United when they played, I was looking at the front threes and being like, okay, where's the goals coming from? Turns out the goals were coming from Gabriel and Bruno Fernandes. Cool, Gabriel. Cool. For this game, again the front threes. So like when Solanke doesn't get any, Solanke is like begging for service in an attacking team. You're meant to be an attacker. You're not giving your striker any service. So in FIFA, when the ball did go to the middle, Gabriel dealt with it really well. It was a monstrous performance from Gabriel. Gabriel and Lewis were the two that stood out for me. Like legit, I think Gabriel's been consistent for most of the season. To be fair to him, he's had a really good season, and Lewis Skelly has shown that we don't have to do this whole "but he's young" thing to all these footballers that we are allowed to criticize in football. Like Lewis Skelly will probably have a dip in form eventually. Don't get me wrong; he's probably still on that high of just breaking into the first team and taking the games by the scruff of the neck in his position. By the way, not even playing in his actual position because he's a midfielder. However, for me, just overall in this game, it was just a lack of quality was outstanding. It was just poor on the eye. Like for example, I think Spurs have some of the most jarring players to watch, just as a neutral. Like if you're looking at it from a neutral fan, because I think Pedro Porro is generally one of the most annoying players to watch, like in the Premier League, because this guy all he does is run and take shots from the weirdest angles. He's like when we talk about Trent spamming passes, this guy spams shots. This guy thinks he's in real life got the long shot trait on FIFA. Like always trying to hit from like the edge of the box on the right hand side. He tried to score from the side right at the end of the game when they were chasing a game and players were actually in the box. An actual opportunity for you to cross the ball in and for you to like score a second goal to equalize. Right. You try to actually score from the post from a tight angle. You try to do what Mikez did all them years ago. You're not Mikez, lad. Like he thinks he's better than he actually is. And my whole thing with the Tottenham players in general, like Archie Gray should be playing in midfield. I don't care how many injuries you have in midfield. Archie Gray should be playing in midfield. This guy's been one of your better players, and he's played in defence. Like Bergvall, Archie Gray, Jed Spence as well. I've never thought, by the way, Jed Spence was a bad footballer ever because I watched the Championship. I knew he was a good player. It's just that Conte didn't want him, so his stocks were down. Nobody, and then when a player barely plays, football fans have this habit of calling a player shit anyway when they've barely played. Jed Spence is one of them. He again not playing in his actual position, but he's playing better than Porro is in his actual position. I thought Tottenham needs to upgrade on their fullbacks as soon as possible. And when I mean upgrade, get starters in. If you really can, because Van der Ven and Romero, apparently Romero's leaving next season. Romero has his deficiencies as well, but you need to upgrade your fullbacks to build a proper back four. That goalkeeper, they gassed him for over 2 games and linked him and sport witness of like we're trying to link him to Real Madrid, but it's sport witness.
Wait, who's been linked to Real Madrid?
You know that keeper that just signed for Tottenham from Slavia.
Oh, okay.
Like, they're totally trying to link him to Real Madrid. It's still sport witness, by the way. So
you mean Kinky Man?
Yeah, Kinky Man. Like him in goal. Yeah, he had one good performance. Started hugging his sister at the end after and crying and stuff, bruv. He's still trying to recover from that. Stop fucking crying. Use your eyes, fam. Wipe your tears from your eyes and perform in the North London derby. Man, don't care about your sister, bruv. Just perform. I don't give a shit, bruv. I don't give a shit.
That's Neymar.
I don't care like about I had a debut and like bro, this guy thinks he made it. The amount of time these keepers take on the ball at times. Like again, you're trying to draw the players in, trying to draw in the press. Some of these keepers overdo it. Even sorry, in my game, we'll get onto that later. But like with Tottenham, they are some of the most annoying players to watch in terms of the fact that like you think they've got some form of quality, but for the most part, their consistency's off. With Ange, yeah, like we've gone through this conversation so many times before, with whether it's him or the board or whatever, yeah. But at least he tried to go for the game, making those subs at halftime with Brennan Johnson and Maddison. But then players lost all, like they didn't even play like it was a North London derby.
Yeah,
they're playing like they just want the season to end. They're still in the Europa League. They're still in competitions. In fact, they're in both cup competitions. Just about, by the way, they just about beat Tamworth. Like they're in every competition. However, with Arsenal, you still got to give credit where it's due, despite the fact that they should have won by way more goals.
Mm-hmm.
They should have won by way more goals. Generally, at times, it was quite comical. Erdegaard, Havertz, of course, Havertz. Sterling, I know he had one of his better games, but still, like, even then, you still get locked up by Jed Spence, and that was one of your better games. Like, Trossard against Porro, the Trossard sent Porro. Like, it was, like, fair play, but can you do this week in, week out? Probably not. I think if Arsenal was serious, they get an attacker in. But then we've seen they're not. Like, this whole Zubimendi thing, that went quiet after, like, 2 hours. And they fell for that PR straight after losing to Man United. And that Sesko link. If you get Sesko, it solves nothing, bruv. If you get Sesko, it solves absolutely nothing. You want a striker that finishes chances.
Mm-hmm.
Not someone who's just been hyped up just because he went through the fucking Red Bull system. Like, every time I watch Sesko, the guy doesn't finish his chances, bro.
Can I just say this? That's the whole Zubimendi thing. I think a lot of us, when we first heard that Zubimendi thing, we knew why that whole thing came out. Because this is what they did. This is what they've been doing since Arteta has been in charge. Where when the fans start getting rattled and getting angry and becoming more vocal, this club has this intended habit of like trying to get like all of like the attention away from like the drama by basically bringing some news that they knew everyone would like everybody tried to make it seem like this Zubimendi thing was gonna happen. Like people were like, "Oh, it's gonna happen. We've already agreed terms. He's probably gonna sign in the next few weeks." I'm like, bro,
they didn't even put in a bid, bro.
You guys don't see what's happening here.
They didn't even put in a bid. Why would they? Why are we talking about next season? Why are we talking about? I get it, like you need a midfielder next season if Partey and Jorginho are leaving. I get it. But it's not your priority. It shouldn't be your priority. We should be seeing you advanced talks with attackers. At least give us the PR with advanced talks. Like, at least. Because here's the thing, like, I don't want to hear about next season. Because these Arsenal fans, trying to eat up already. Next season, we've got the league. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Your manager is glued on hair, fam. Like, get out of here, man. You ain't going to win in the league anytime soon, man. If Gabriel Saliba's hamstrings turn to string again, who's going in? Fucking Kivior. Are you still going to keep Kivior? You're still going to struggle to sell him. Kieran Tierney's been a fringe player for years, and all you've done with him is loan him out to Sociedad, and you're about to lose him on a free again to Celtic. He's going back. He's going back to his old club, mate. Listen, I think they're bad at selling. But they're even bad at PR because this PR is just too easy for anyone with a brain. I said Fez, if you're going to sign him, Fez for next season, but that ain't your priority. That ain't your priority. Also, someone made a good point. You're just signing like this old Sociedad team, like Zubimendi, Marino, Erdegaard. Then are they going to be linked to Isak next? You're going to basically building Sociedad, bro. Like Arteta should be in his home country right now, just with fucking Marino.
He should probably be managing Sociedad right now.
Yeah, but, like legit, like the actual game itself was just poor. Like man,
it was one of the worst. I'm gonna be honest, bro. It was one of the worst derbies I've watched in years. Dude,
and I think even though Arsenal won, like it doesn't say anything different for me. Like even if they beat Villa for me as well,
it's one of those games where it's one of those games for me where yes. Take the victory. You won the spoils against your biggest rivals, right? That's all great and good. But for the bigger picture, for any Arsenal fan who sees that game and thinks this could be the start of something new, I just want to tell you guys, bro, I've seen enough from that game to know that this is not a start of new things to come. You understand what I'm saying, right? Because the same issues that you guys were having against United, against Newcastle, it was still the same. The only problem is you were playing against Spurs, who I don't know, man. This club is probably the only team that's having a worse season than you guys. You understand what I'm saying? But but listen, I do want to quickly but Prime, what did you think of the North London derby, man? Watching the game.
What happened in the game is what was like realistically was always going to happen. Spurs started off brightly, like they always do. They burnt out. Arsenal scored from a set piece. And then just suffocated Spurs because they're shit. I mean, they've got a goalkeeper called Kinky. They've got a fullback called named after a adult website. Like they're just, it's a brothel, bro. Brothel lane. But yeah, is it going to make much of a difference? No. But this is why I said on Mud Brothers. Shout out Mud Brothers Cheek TV.
Shout out my brother.
I said this meltdown from Arsenal fans is not real. They're just emotional because they lost to Man United. Well, according to Igal, they drew the game, but they lost the FA Cup game to Man United on penalties. They drew. So because they drew to United and they lost to 2-0 to Newcastle, that's why there's meltdown. But I guarantee if they had beaten United on pens, Arsenal fans wouldn't have meltdown. Yes, you still would have had people like Lee Gunner, Northside, TJ, Alfie, the minority who would have been angry, fine. But people like Gal, Tony, etc., AFTV, they wouldn't have been in meltdown. They still would have supported this. Just like we saw. They beat Spurs, like they always do, regardless of when they're shit. And Arsenal fans are still getting giddy. When I saw the reports of Zubimendi, I laughed, bro. Arteta.
You just had to laugh, bro. For neutral, you just had to laugh. I just laughed it off. I was like, man.
Went to Arteta, bro. The guy's Spanish, and he couldn't convince Zubimendi, another Spanish player, to join Arsenal. I find that crazy. The fact that you bought a Spanish central midfielder with no technical ability in Moreno is crazy to me, bro.
Yeah, you want to that on midfielder, basically.
Bro, that's like having a Brazilian at your club that doesn't have a Jogo Benito step in it. Oh, Martinelli. That's like buying an Italian defender that cannot defend. Oh, Caliafiore. So it makes sense that they have Marine. It actually doesn't make sense though, now that I think about it. It's like having an African player that has opinion. Oh, party. Yeah, that also makes sense. Yeah. But yeah, this is Arsenal, man. This is Arsenal. And then they want to do the links to Sesko. Do people not remember they were linked to Sesko in the summer, and how did that turn out?
Hey, listen, go sign Sesko.
Like,
go sign Sesko.
They used to sign Sesko, fam.
They're not going to sign him. You know why? You know why they won't sign him? Arteta begged for Havertz. So Havertz has to play. Whether it's as an 8, which Havertz can't do. We all know that. Lampard proved to you he can't play as an 8. Or whether it's playing Havertz as a 9, false 9, platform 9 3/4, whatever player that he's supposed to be. Which Havertz still can't do, but because he gets a few goals, all of a sudden he's good again. I've seen Arsenal fans say, people that are slandering him because of a few misses, don't worry. Don't come back into Havertz hive when he starts firing again. We'll be here. We'll remember. We're on the right side of history. All right, man. Yeah. And that's what people said when they followed that guy in Germany, man. They're on the right side of history. But we all know what happened eventually. But Arsenal, keep doing what you're doing. Arteta is the right guy, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing, because you guys will end the season great. Because Liverpool dropped points, right? This is the first time you've picked up points when Liverpool have dropped. So it's not all doom and gloom. You shouldn't have been Arteta out now. You're just reacting because you lost. You drew to Man United. That's why you drew to Man United. You're just overreacting. What you'll do now is you go on another run of form. You're third in the Champions League, right? That's what you guys are saying. You're second in the league now, I think. Is it? Right? You're still fine. Yep. Hey, you could still win the title. You probably won't, but you can still win the title. You can still win the Champions League.
Hey, you gotta be in it to win it, bro. You gotta be in it to win it, bro.
Yeah, listen, you can still do it. And hey, if you guys don't, you go into next season in a position of strength. Salah's gone. There's no Salah demon next year. City have to rebuild. Chelsea, we're still rebuilding. United, everyone's saying United are shit, so they're still shit. Listen, the title's yours next season, man. Arteta quad Teta. My guy, the best looking Spaniard that you know, because I'm not into that, but the best looking Spaniard you guys know. Hey, you've got the best right winger in the world in Saka. You got the best centre back in Gabriel and Saliba. Yeah, you got the best DM and Declan Rice in the world, but you play him as a 10. So I don't know. Is Declan Rice now the best 10 in the world now? I don't know how that works out, but you guys can tell me.
Best 10.
You've got a Maldini regen in Caliafiore.
Yeah.
You know, Martinelli, he'll be back next season scoring goals, and you have the second best striker in the league in Havertz. Actually, Havertz may be the best striker in the league now, because Haaland's not really scoring goals, is he? So I think Havertz then jumps up to the best.
Haaland has been struggling, hasn't he?
I mean, Isaac, don't ignore what Isaac's doing. He's on the proper patch. Havertz is better than Isaac. Trust me, he's better than Isaac. You don't need Sesko. You don't need Sesko either. Use that money. You might need another centre back. I think you need another centre back. You know, we've got one available, Trevor Chalobah. United have Maguire. You can buy him. West Ham have.
Yeah, we have Mavropanos. Get if you want him back, you can have him.
No, I mean you can buy Souček. Souček can play centre back. You can buy Souček. You know, there's players around. Arsenal were linked to Ronald Araujo from Barcelona. Listen, we have centre backs. You guys can take. Listen, we won't even rob you like we did for Havertz. 40 mil, you can have Chalobah. He's English as well. English,
you know.
Yeah. He's English. Do what you got to do, but hey, Arteta, don't get sacked, man. You're my guy. I've never backed the manager more, man. I never believed in the manager more. You're my guy. You'll get us to the promised land. You get us to the promised land. That's right.
There'll always be 3 players away, won't they? They'll get to the rest of the season, and everyone else would decline. They won't buy anyone. Arsenal won't buy anyone, and they'll be like, "Oh, we're still 3 players away. It's already a couple of players. It's already a striker away." I remember that from the start of the season. I remember the start of the season. They were saying we're only a striker away. No, you're a striker, left winger, third midfielder, 6. You're about 4 players at least away, and left back by the way, because Lewis Kelly isn't 2 humans. He's only 1 person, so he's going to need. So you're about 5 players away from a title.
But remember, Arteta's better than Slot as well, though. So you have to remember, like once Trent leaves and Salah leaves, and City do their rebuild next year. The title's there for Arsenal to win, by the way. They're only not winning the league because of their injuries. You have to remember, guys. It's not like Alisson wasn't out injured as well. So it's not we have to see, you guys can't stop being mean to Arsenal. Be fair, man. They got injuries. It's not like Chelsea had injuries last year or Man United had injuries last year. But forget that. You know, they have injuries. That's more important for Arsenal when they have injuries. Because we know they're not, we gotta treat Arsenal with kid gloves here. They're special, they're not a big club like Man United and Arsenal and Barcelona, and even West Ham have a European trophy. They're not a big club like West Ham, so we got to treat them with kid gloves, So it's
we got early doors football, man. West Ham fans, man.
Let them listen. When they sign Rashford, I want to see the VI spin. When they sign Rashford, I want to see the spin.
Yeah, because Arsenal fans need special treatment. They need like 3 teaching assistants around them. Like that's the kind of people they are. Like. They need 1 teaching assistant to help them put their shoes on, 1 to help them read, and 1 to help them write. That's what Arsenal fans are like.
Bro, we need to treat Arsenal with big gloves because we're not allowed to speak the truth, man. We're not allowed to speak because when Man United are bad, who laughs? Let me Real King. When United are bad, who laughs loudest at Man United? It's Arsenal, right?
Yep.
When Chelsea are bad, who laughs loudest? It's Arsenal.
Okay, so fine. Before you go to the point, let me because I do want to hear from King because is that King? I know last week you guys had a great win against.
I know. Let me just end and say this because I remember the last 2 years when Chelsea are bad. Even United fans, all the other rivals were saying, "Listen, it's getting to a point where it's not funny anymore." But United, we all said it's getting to a point where it's not funny anymore. When Liverpool are bad, we all said it's got to a point where it's not funny anymore. When it's Spurs, when it's City, this 1-1-5 down a loss that City went on when Pep was scratching himself, people were saying it's not funny anymore. But Arsenal still laughed. They laughed when Rodri got injured. They laughed when it's.
Oh yeah, do you remember the picture? Do you remember the picture, bro?
Yeah. Do you remember? When the whole be humble, that Haaland said? Arsenal fans still don't understand. You guys need to be humble because you don't win anything. A team that's won a 4P, the team that's done a treble doesn't need to be humble. You that's not won anything, you need to be humble. But they don't understand it is what you've not won a Champions League. I understand you don't have a European trophy. You don't understand the true echelon of being a big club. That's why Mikez has standards now and saying he doesn't want Lopetegui because he's seen success. You guys haven't experienced success, so you don't have standards.
There we go.
I understand. That's why I'll banter Arsenal, but I understand, man. You don't listen when you're in Europa League next year. Maybe you'll win it. Maybe you get knocked out against Emery in the quarterfinals again or semi-finals again or whatever. But it's what it is. Before I pass on to Real King, let me just say, combined 11 with Real Madrid right now. Who gets in? Let's not talk about Champions League.
We don't talk about that.
No. You know what else?
And Bayern Munich as well. You know what I'm saying?
We don't talk about Champions Leagues, guys, because remember Arsenal don't have, so we can't talk about the Champions League. Real Madrid have.
You're not experienced. You don't have that experience yet, bro. Hey, listen, I tell Arsenal
Yeah.
fans all the time, bro. I don't care. Arsenal gets triggered, bro. But real Arsenal fans understand, bro. When it comes to Champions League, bro, you're not allowed in the room. Respectfully, you may have been in the Champions League a few years, bro. But until you win it, it's the same thing I tell PSG fans, bro. When PSG fans start talking, I'm like, listen, man. When you win it, I can start listening, bro. But until you win it, bro, you don't know this. You don't know this life yet. You understand what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
still Chelsea.
Yeah,
Chelsea had to win it.
Omar,
Just had to win it to be in the conversation. Start talking to me. Yeah.
Omar. You're a Barca fan, bro. Why are you speaking on Arsenal?
Hey,
You're a Barca fan, Omar. You're not allowed to speak.
But Omar, they were robbed of the Champions League. They were robbed.
Yeah,
in the final.
they were robbed. It's funny, isn't it? Right? They still talking about that 19 years later, man. It's actually sad.
Yeah.
It's actually, no, honestly, I'm not even joking, right? It's sad when some of these Arsenal fans. I'm like, bro, you guys are so because that was the last time you guys were close to the Champions League final. Like, at least with Chelsea, they can talk about 09. But guess what? Chelsea recovered from that, went on to win the Champions League, went on to win it again. That's how you recover, man. You like listen, yeah, maybe some Arsenal fans may talk about Barca when we have to play them, but these guys have moved on from that because they've already won the Champions League a few times. You haven't won it, so you're still living with that because you know, bro, you have never after that Champions. In fact, that Champions League final was the line in the sand. After that Champions League final, your club was never the same. You guys fell off after that. You guys were never in the conversation in Europe. You were no longer in the conversation with the league until recently. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, it is what it is. But King, very quickly, bro, tell me what you think of the Tottenham Arsenal game, bro.
Yeah, big up the whole panel. Yeah, it was both of the North London derbies, home and away, was absolutely abysmal. Like, but both of them was like probably the worst North London derbies I've seen. Obviously, Gabriel and Lewis Skelly, they were definitely mad at the match in that game, but like obviously Tottenham just played to Arsenal's hands. Tottenham was just trying to play out from the back. One of the things that Arsenal are good at is pressing from the front, and Tottenham were just passing the ball out the back, and they were just giving the ball away and giving it straight to Arsenal when they were pressing high, and Arsenal in the end obviously took advantage of that with the second goal. Obviously, they got lucky as well because the first goal was not even a corner. But hey, we're not allowed to speak about that because apparently Arsenal fans, when it comes to referees, apparently to Arsenal, apparently referees are against Arsenal. You know what I'm saying? Apparently referees are against Arsenal. But hey, no one's allowed to speak about that one. But yeah, man, like, you know what I'm saying? Like they probably won the game as well because they probably got a different ball. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a different flight. You know, different flight of the ball, different grip of the ball. That's what Mikel Arteta was saying. You know what? You know what I'm saying? So it was the actual Premier League ball, and they didn't play with the Carabao Cup ball. They didn't play with the FA Cup ball, but they played with the Premier League ball. Fair enough, Arteta. You know what I'm saying? Fair enough. You know what I'm saying?
The fact that Arsenal fans were defending that, saying he was asked about the ball. No, he wasn't, bro.
He wasn't. He brought it up himself. He's on the spectrum, man. I'm talking about.
Bro, when I heard that, right? When I heard the quote, when I saw the quote, I was like, nah, guys, we're doing too much. This is fake. This is what Tyler was saying. Fake. Bro, this is worse than saying, well, it was raining. This is worse than that Thai excuse of complaining about the rain, bro. That is like
Ty's more saying
Adam is just in the comments just fighting everybody, bro.
Yeah, bro.
But Arteta was right though, because you have to remember the spin and the physics.
Jabulani ball. He's complaining about the, like, you know how we were complaining about the Jabulani ball in 2010? Yeah, man.
That's why Arsenal win that Champions League against Barcelona, the ball.
Yeah,
it was the ball, isn't it?
Yeah. Probably, but yeah, that's the 5-year process. So absolutely brilliant process. You know what I'm saying? That's an absolutely brilliant process from Super Duper Mick that Arsenal fans would love to see. But yeah, Super Duper Mick. Obviously, they've got Win the Dog and they've got lemon juices as well. So that's their process. You know what
Hey
I'm
man,
saying? But
wins, man. The wins matter, man. Positives, man. Look at
you
the
know, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? They got Gabriel Jesus, Zinchenko going to bring a winning mentality. Same with Jorginho. You know what I'm saying? But hey, we all love to see it. But banter aside, like yeah, like I predicted on Northside Channel yesterday that Arsenal would win 2-1 because obviously I knew that and well like I knew that and Postecoglou, we all know what he does. Highline FC, we all know what Big Ange does, you know what I'm saying? Like Pedro Porro, like we all know that he's not a right back, he's a wing back, you know what I'm saying? Because the guy is non-existent at defending, you know what I mean? When he's defending, it's instant mission, bro. It's a Dragon Ball Z thing. He just disappears, bro. When it comes to defending, so so we all know what it is with Pedro Porro. Yeah, in the second half, and tried to change it. He left Bergvall isolated in the midfield, and he brought on Madison, and he made another change as well. But yeah, but obviously when Tottenham did get through Arsenal's press, they didn't have the quality in the final third to break Arsenal down. Arsenal Arsenal wasn't really cutting through Tottenham. Tottenham were just giving them the ball, and Arsenal were forcing them to make mistakes playing out from the back, and they obviously got their routine goal, their corner. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's their routine goal. You know, scoring from corners, set piece again, ole ole. You know, that's Arsenal. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Arsenal. That's pretty much it. Like Arsenal fans should be happy with the win, but the performance again was not great. The performance is not something that they can take through forward in other games because they still struggle to break teams down and without Saka obviously. But they also said, oh, when Martin Odegaard was like, oh, Martin Odegaard is Arsenal's most important player. Well, it doesn't seem like it, mate. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I mean, man. Like Casper Leaf, I'm taking too much touches, but hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, man, like Casper Lee, Martin Wizardry, Erdegaard. You know what I'm saying? But it takes too much touches. But this is what it is. But this is what it is. Yeah, this is what it is. Like every time when he needs to make a final decision to either pass or to shoot, he always takes an extra touch, and then he always turns around and then stops the attack. Like that's what Martin Odegaard does. Like that's what that's what that guy does. Leon Trossard obviously cut Pedro Porro. He was actually one of Arsenal's decent attackers. Raheem Sterling, yet again, obviously Sterling. It might be like Mike said, it might be one of his better games, but still it's still Jed Spence had him in his pocket, so that's just sums up Raheem Sterling in general. But hey, Raheem the Dream man, trust the process, man. You know what I'm saying? Trust Super Duper Mick. You know what I'm saying? Thomas Partey yet again was probably Arsenal's best midfielder again. Declan Rice, obviously the past few games he's had stinkers, like that. He's had a few stinkers, but apparently he was the best midfielder in the world. But okay, mate, apparently he's one of the best midfielders in the world. But you know what I mean. But he's this box to box eight. Well, I don't think he's that, mate. But man like JMX fam, you know what I'm saying. But but yeah, man like JMX and Tommy Fury fan. But yeah, that's about that's about it, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I hear it. But let's quickly read some of these chats because listen, this chat is actually going crazy. I want to do some of these chats, guys. I know you guys we're enjoying this conversation. Let's read some of these chats, guys. Quickly. Sorry. But there's like 30 people. This chat is crazy. It's active, man. He says, big up to Adam. He says, Timber is clear. basically also says Skelly is better than Spence. And X here says Zerkamp and Armadinho saved the day. We'll get into that. We'll definitely get into that. That's the next. We'll segue into that next. Big up to AK every single time, bro. Adam says we need a striker and a left winger. Yeah, you do. Yep. You definitely do. And Adam also says
Sesko is manager and an 8 and a left back.
Yeah, yeah. Sesko is Havertz 2.0 as well. It is They just want Sesko so that they can sing Benjamin in the back, Benjamin in attack. No, that's actually really good. That's actually really good, man. That is actually really good. It's just they're papering over the cracks, Omar. Any deluded Arsenal fans will fall for it. Yeah. Yeah, it says Adam says Villa will be much harder. Emery will want to end Arsenal season. Yo, you know Emery had that vendetta against Arsenal, man. Every single time, bro. Every season he's just beating you guys. Whether it's home or away. I've already read this one. Big up to Spoobs every single time. This is you're lucky. It says AK says Spoob, you're lucky for once. I mean, listen, we'll get into that, man. We'll definitely get, because I did watch that game, man. It was actually a very crazy game. But yeah, let's read some of these as well. It says big up to AK says shout out to Prime. He's shouting you out, bro. And also, AK is saying, he's talking about City, man. There are City representatives that they've already signed 3 players. Yeah, man, you guys are cooking something crazy. Absolutely. And also, Adam says Arsenal love Chelsea's rejects. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why Prime is out here trying to sell you some more, man. He's like, listen, man, it's so good at buying our rejects. Here's some more. We got some more.
No. I'm not trying. You take what you, as you're our younger brother, right? You take our hand-me-downs. Actually, I could say something, man. Let me not say it. Let me not go too far. You take what you're given. When we've outgrown Chilwell, we've outgrown David Luiz, outgrown Petr Cech, outgrown Willian, outgrown Sterling, outgrown Havertz. Wow, you've taken so many of our players down. Listen,
we'll be here all day, man. We'll be here all day.
Chilwell. You can have Chilwell. You can have Dewsbury Hall. You guys need an attacking 8. You can have Sanchez. You can have Chalobah. It's 4 players. 40 mil. I won't even charge you that.
Completely here.
Martinez as well. You can have Martinez as well. You know what I'm saying? Lesandro, man, like Lesandro, like they want to Lesandro, they can have him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but Adam Arsenal sign Lukman, Bayana, and Gyökeres, then I'll be confident. And you know what? You're right, man. Yeah, like that. If your club was competent, that's the sign. Those signings will probably help you win the league, bro.
But I was told Sterling.
Man. No, but those players you just mentioned are very good. Adam is active. He says, but we signed Raheem Sterling, Raheem the Dream, IP Maldini, aka Calafiori, and is it Modric?
Maureen. Yeah, Maureen.
Maureen, basic Mirano. I got you, man. He says, we need a. Okay, so AK is just talking about another subject that is not us, but yeah. Big up to AK says. Big up to Tony. He says, stay humble, Arsenal. Oh yeah, that's the whole Haaland thing.
Yeah.
He says, if you haven't yet, make sure you guys big up to early doors football TV, man. Make sure you guys go subscribe to them. West Ham fan. It's just like Mike. He always does a lot of Arsenal content. I'm sure, Mike, have you done a show with them?
Yeah.
I'm sure you have. Yeah. Big up to early doors, man. Big up to you guys. Big up to Freddie, every single time. Big up to Adam says Arsenal are back. Worry about Bournemouth. We'll talk about that, man. We'll talk about the Arsenal game, man. You just stick around. And flights. I mean, basically, he's talking about you know how you basically mentioned the Champions League in Europe. He's basically talking about the flights to because you're in the Conference League. This guy. I says and Bowley's Island.
Island.
Yeah. We don't get into those things, man. And that Russian player no more. I mean, listen, man. That Russian player that you're talking about, man, he definitely did his thing, man. Made that relevant.
Since Roman's left, we've won as many trophies as Arsenal.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So what about Thomas Island?
To be fair, wait a minute.
Say Thomas Party Island, crazy.
Yep.
Crazy.
Since Alex Ferguson has retired, Manchester United have won more trophies than Arsenal. But hey, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, big up to AK. He says, man like King spitting bars. Yeah, man. That's why we love King, man. That's why we love King. But yeah, he says, big up. Yo, I'm not gonna lie. Adam now is just becoming a hit. He says, we're celebrating the game like you're celebrating winning games like Spurs. I mean, bro, you gotta talk to your fan base, man. I mean, to be fair, man, you guys you were struggling a lot this season so far. And it also says United will win no trophies this season. All right, I'll let my guy. I'll just leave that to King. Listen, at the end of the day, man, they've won the trophy last 2 seasons. That's all I'm saying, man.
Interesting.
Because Ramsdale saw a pigeon.
Interesting. You know what I'm saying? The Arsenal Express is never ever late. You know what I'm saying? That's what I always say. The Arsenal Express is never ever late at the end of the season. So we will see, man.
Yeah, but we go to AK says, wait, why is Prime becoming an Arteta fan all of a sudden? He's being sarcastic, bro. Can't you tell sarcasm, bro?
No, I'm not being sarcastic. I am a big
fan. Okay, all right.
Big fan.
Big fan. Yeah, bro. Accelerator says Stoke City FC. Hey, listen, man. They're not beating the Stoke City allegation right now. That's all I'm saying, man. So far, man, they're still not beating the allegations just yet. It says, how did Tottenham and Liverpool score? How did Tottenham?
From corners. It's because from corners, isn't it?
Oh, the corner kicks. Oh, I hear. Hey, listen, man, you guys need to work on that. I mean, to be fair, I will say this: you guys were actually doing well in the corner kicks, right? Earlier in the game, and then the one chance when I guess that corner was also very debatable whether it was a corner or not. So, and then you just concede, man. It's hard when you don't leave an area for 70 minutes. Yeah. And we go to X-Man. He says Snodegard needs to retire from international football so I don't have to see him again. Yo, listen, man. Norway is my second home, man. If people don't know, Norway is my second home, man. Like, watching Odegaard play for Norway is jarring, bro. You feel me? I'm not going to lie, bro.
Is he actually bad for Norway, then?
Dude, I'm not going to lie, bro. This guy is the captain, but this dude, right? Oh, my goodness gracious me, bro. Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
I'm glad people are calling it out because people love to blame Haaland for Norway's failures.
No, but Haaland is not in Norway. This guy scored like 30 goals in like 32 games. Something crazy like that, bro. And he just got stumped around him.
Haaland at least will score goals. But Odegaard is meant to be providing, and he doesn't.
Haaland, let me tell you something, bro. Norway's team right now, Prime, they have Oscar Bob. They have that Noosa kid. They have Sunderberg in the midfield. They have Trosby, Alsness, flipping what's his name? Ryerson in the left back.
They have Soloff. They have Soloff as well.
Christopher Ajer in the back with Ostergaard, Solot, and Haaland as their strikers. And this nation still can't go to nah, bro. And I get pissed off because, like I said, man, I actually like in my other European nations, they're the ones I support. But dude, this country always, bro, get under my skin. I'm like, yo, how are you guys such a good squad? And I'm seeing countries like flipping Macedonia go to the Euros before you, man. Like Odegaard is an absolute I'm telling you, Odegaard, right, as the captain, bro. People think that dude, I've always said this. Odegaard being captain of Arsenal, but it's like when you talk about Bruno being the captain of United, how it embodies how United are. Arsenal, Odegaard being Arsenal captain embodies where Arsenal are, bro. Because how are you having a guy who can't even take his country to an international tournament, captain your club to a league title? Like, seriously, bro. Like, yo, you guys used to have Patrick Vieira as your captain. From Vieira to Van Persie to now Odegaard. All right,
but now they sing about Odegaard in the shower, so it's fine.
Yeah. See, Odegaard can't even finish, but he can pass. Yeah. How are those passes doing for you guys, man? How is he doing? But he got an assist. He got an assist and Trossard scored. He basically he's doing the
league kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, man. It says 5. Big up to he says this is Lisandro Martinez. It says 5'3" with an attitude. Lisandro Lannister. Hey, big up to Yunus, man. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Barca React. Says Haaland should be captain. Hey, listen, he's definitely turning up. He says, we won our group, but without Snow. You see what I'm saying? Odegaard got injured, right? The whole month of from September all the way to November, he had injury problems, barely played for them. And literally, throughout the time that he wasn't playing, they actually won all of their games, I think, except one, and they qualified and reached the first stages of the Nations League. I'm like, whoa! I'm telling you, it's Odegaard, man. No, Odegaard. Yeah, no, yeah, Nusa is you're right. Nusa is a definite baller. Oscar Bob and Nusa in the wings. I'm telling you, man. And also, yeah, this kid as well from Benfica. He's another one that's coming up, bro. I'm telling you, Norway is just cooking something crazy right now. Omar
Yeah.
B is a real Barca fan. Of course, man. Barca till I die, man. Barca till I die. But listen, let's quickly go to the next segment because we literally spent 50 minutes talking about Arsenal and Spurs. Let's go to Manchester United, bro, because that's just the match that's just ended. I'm sure we all watched the game.
Yeah.
Look, I'm just gonna say this, right? I did say that this should not be close. I said that last week here, right? I said no matter how you think United's form are, how bad they are, how they struggle against certain teams, Southampton is not that team, bro. Southampton will find a way to beat Southampton. You understand what I'm saying? They should beat Southampton. It should not even be a doubt. But somehow this club, right? This club somehow, even though they won the game, and my prediction was 3-0 and they ended 3-1, and it looks like I was close. Dude, I might have underestimated just how bad United are, bro. Because don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted, bro. I said on my stream last week, as bad as United are, Southampton are even worse. And I was proven right. Because at the end of the day, any other team would have left that stadium today with that win today. How are you going to be 1-0 up all the way to the 82nd minute, bro? You work that hard for 82 minutes to hold on to a lead, and then you concede 3 goals in less than 10 minutes. Nah, man, no. That is levels of terrible shit housery, I'm telling you, man. And listen, Ahmad, bro, like Ten Hag, every single week, it's like Ahmad is just determined to just make Ten Hag look like a fool every single week, bro. Every week, everyone from King to Flawless to Saeed to Rans to Faz, all of the Arsenal fans that I listened to, all of them, when Ten Hag was here, when are we going to see Ahmad get given a chance? Give Ahmad a chance. Give this guy a chance. Give him a chance. Give him a chance. Give him a chance. And this Ten Hag guy being stubborn and hard-headed. And all of a sudden, this new manager comes in, and then Ahmad is playing well, and everyone's like this. Really? Really, Ten Hag? It's as if we all have eyes and we're all watching the games and seeing how good this kid is. But you kept on persisting with Anthony and Rashford and all of these frauds, right? And look at Ahmad today, bro. 10 minutes, bro. Did nothing. Like, that's the crazy thing about Ahmad today. He probably had his poorest game today. But in 10 minutes, he literally just decided, nah, man, turn up and just score a hat-trick out of nowhere. But yeah, I'm going to be honest, man. Great win for United. At the end of the day, it would have been truly embarrassing to lose to the worst team in the league by far. But there's a reason they're the worst team in the league. So at the end of the day, King, the floor is yours, man. Talk to me from a United fan, man. What did you think of that game?
Yeah, bigger. Yeah, like obviously, I understand. You're saying Southampton are worse than United, but I honestly wasn't surprised. I wasn't surprised we struggled against Southampton because this is what Manchester United do. Because the thing is that when other teams rely on Manchester United to have the ball, obviously Manchester United biggest strengths are off the ball. Like we all know this. Like on the ball, like our assets are not great in it. So this is why we struggle against the lower teams, because this is why we can get up for games like Liverpool and Man City and Arsenal, because yes, the big rivalries, but we all know that in those games that we're not going to have much of the ball. So it plays in our hands. But obviously Southampton is a completely different game. And in the first half, that was probably one of the worst performances I saw in the first half. The first half was absolutely abysmal. Yes, we all know that these players are not great. We all know these players are a lot of these players are not good. We all know this. But I've always said this. Like I like Ruben Amorim. I rate him as a coach, and obviously I'm not going to be Ruben Amorim out or anything like that. But when he makes mistakes, I'm going to criticize. So when he makes certain mistakes, I'm going to criticize him. He doesn't take all of the blame. He doesn't take all of the blame, but he has to take some of the blame today because again, like persisting with Rasmus Højlund. I've said this before. When you keep on persisting with players like Bruno Fernandes and Rasmus Højlund and Garnacho, you're not going to get different outcomes. You're going to get the same outcomes. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get the same outcomes. We all know that these men are going to play shit. This is this is what it is. So again, Xerxes, not a lot of people will speak about it, but Amad Diallo, obviously, my winger, them were they're my baller, bro.
Yeah.
But not a lot of people will speak about Joshua Xerxes, another guy who I've always rated.
Yeah, we need to talk about him as well, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
Bro, before you continue, I'm gonna say
yeah.
this last thing about before I let you continue.
Mm.
Bro, this Hoyland guy, right? I swear to God, man, I'm
Yeah.
tired, bro, of every time I'm watching United, telling people
Mm.
how much of a bro. People always are quick to criticize Xerxes. I'm like, dude, are you guys watching Hoyland, bro? At least with Xerxes, sometimes I can see him making good passes into the box if he's not scoring, putting pressure.
Yep.
This brother, bro, does nothing. And
He
every
does
single
nothing,
time
bro.
he comes to Xerxes comes in and instantly does more in 5 minutes than this guy does in over 60 minutes of play.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, man.
Yeah, that's what it is, Omar. But that's what it is. But I've always said it. Rasmus Højlund is the worst number 9, not in the league in Europe. He's the worst number 9 in. He's the worst number 9 in Europe. Garnacho is the worst.
And also, let me quickly say this.
Mm.
Bro, why are these commentaries keep saying Hoyland is Norwegian? He's Danish, bro. For God's sake. I heard him say the Norwegians. I'm like, bro, why do people always think, bro? There's Haaland and Hoyland. They're not the same person. I know they're both blonde and they're both Scandinavians, but they're not the same,
Yeah.
man. For God's sake.
But Højlund's the worst number 9 in Europe, and Garnacho's the worst left winger in Europe. That's how bad Man United's attack is relegation fodder. That's what Man United's attack is. So I know this. Flawless knows this. Rance knows this. All the real United fans know this in it. So this is the thing. Kobe Mainu. I'm a big fan of Kobe Mainu. But I've said it so many times, playing in the double pivot, playing as the 8 does not work. Kobe Mainu in the 8 does not work. And that's another thing that Ruben Amorim needs to stop persisting. Because the thing is, with Kobe Mainu is that he's good at dribbling and he's good at receiving the ball in tight spaces. He's good at tight spaces and all of this and that, but he does not have the variety of passing range to play as a, and he does not have the defensive awareness. Because when we get it broke on in the counter attack, he struggles to get back because Mainu wants to go forward. Mainu wants to go forward all the time and dribble past people. And in the 8, you can't do that in the 8. So if Ruben Amorim does not play him, I've always said Kobe Mainu's a 10, but if Ruben Amorim does not see Kobe Mainu as a 10, he should drop Kobe Mainu. Like, even another player that people are not going to speak about who also changed the game was Toby Collier. Again, Collier, again, when he came on in the 8 row, like again, we had more sustained control. Xerxes and Collier changed the game, and this is what it was. And Collier did very well when he came on against Arsenal as well. You clearly saw in the Arsenal game in the second half as well. Mainu was getting overrun in the Arsenal game in the second half. Toby Collier comes on, and all of a sudden we look more structured in the midfield. And obviously, Yenny Euro, who I rate, he had a stinker today. And people will say, "Oh, you don't criticize your favorite players." Well, Yenny Euro is someone who I like. So yeah, so he has to take criticism today because he got cooked 3 or 4 times by the Southampton left winger. So, but yeah, like apart from. I thought Delit was our best centre back. He had a standard game again, Delit, recovery tackle, recovery blocks. We all know what Mateo Dilla is. He's been a very good signing. He's been one of the best signings. Joshua Zirkzee, again, another bowler who I've always rated because, like I said, Rasmus Højlund does not do anything. People speak about service. Yeah, but the thing is, even when Rasmus Højlund gets the service, he's not in the box. When he gets the service, he's not there. He doesn't know. He doesn't know when to position. He doesn't know when to position himself in the box. He doesn't know when to run in behind, and he doesn't know when to not run in behind. He does not know how to hold the ball up. Yeah, he does not know where to be in the right place at the right time. And Rasmus Højlund offers zero. I said it on Northside channel before. He's 6'3" for no reason. He's 6'3" for no reason. The guy's just useless. Joshua Zirkzee, on the other hand, like this is why he should be playing as the 9, because as the 9 he becomes an extra man. He becomes an extra man and in midfield, so that allows us to connect more attacks in the midfield to the attack. He connects the whole attack because he drops deep in midfield and gets on the ball and starts controlling things. That's what Joshua Zirkzee does. And the way that he also was carrying the ball when linking up, you clearly saw there was a difference. But hey, we all know what it is. A lot of my fan base don't like ballers, and a lot of my fan base don't like Xerxes. This is what it is. And again, Rasmus Højlund has been one of our worst players week in and week out, and he will not get criticised because for some reason the fan base love him. They're obsessed with him. So yeah, if you're obsessed with him, go on Love Island, mate. You know what I'm saying. But hey, that's another conversation. But yeah, man. In the first half, it was a shocking performance. In the second half, when Ruben Amorim made the changes, it was better. I would give him credit for the substitution because the substitutions worked. But Amorim needs to stop persisting with playing certain players out of position like Kobe Mainu, and he needs to stop. And also Mazraoui, because Mazraoui did okay today, but we all know in this system Mazraoui's a centre back in this system. He plays better as a centre back in the system. So yeah, Amad Diallo, masterclass. Obviously when he brought Anthony on, I thought he was going to play him as a right wing back, and Amad was going to play as the 10. But obviously Anthony would play as the other 10. Obviously, he's not as good in the 10. Anthony's better as a wing back in this system. And Amad Diallo, like you said, Omar, Amad Diallo wasn't too much involved in the game. It wasn't one of his best. It wasn't one of his best games. But when he was further forward, and once he started picking up the positions in the 10 where he usually plays, we saw the best Amad Diallo play in the 10. So you know what I mean. So yeah, man, it was a good second half. It was a good 30-40 minutes in the second half. It was a good 30-40 minutes in the second half.
Right.
But in the first half, it was shocking, and obviously the players have to take some blame for it. Ruben Amorim has to take some blame for it. Ruben Amorim, I still believe, is the right man to take Manchester United forward. I still believe that he's a very good coach, and he comes across very well in press conferences. So Amorim obviously still has my backing, but he needs to stop persisting with certain players, and he needs to stop playing certain players out of position where they're not most comfortable, like Kobe Mainu, because he's getting overrun. He's getting overrun in the midfield, and he's someone that I rate highly. But if he doesn't see him as a 10, then he needs to drop Kobe Mainu and he needs to start Collier. Collier for me and Xerxes have to start because they give us more. They give us more control in the mid. They give us more control in the midfield, and who else as well? Lisandro Martinez again reverted back to type again for the first goal. Poor from the corner, poor Tyler Diblin were cooking him, bro. Like he got cooked, bro. Like you know what I'm saying? Like Lisandro just reverts back to type. Lisandro's not good enough to play in the system either. So yeah, we need to get rid of a lot of players. We need to bring in a lot of players in. But and Amirim at times need to tweak a few stuff and start persisting with certain players. But yeah, man, I think that's about it for
No,
my point of view
I hear you.
for
But,
United.
yeah, big up to you, King. Mikes, quickly, man. What did you think of the game, man, from a neutral point of view?
Yeah, like when we had that discussion not last week on Sunday about this game, like Man United performing to Southampton's level or whatever, it kind of went how I expected it to, but obviously apart from the scoreline, where Man United played just as bad as typically how Southampton would. But I said 1-0, they'll squeeze over the line because I don't really know where Man United get their goals from, apart from Amad Diallo, of course, because this guy is clutch. He's very clutch, and don't get me wrong, I don't think he played well until he scored the 3 goals, which is what I criticize what people praise like Bruno for. Like, because I don't really get, I've never got the hype. I've never got the hype with Bruno Fernandes. However, with Amad Diallo, this guy has deserved game time for a very long time. Obviously, under the previous manager, was just completely like rejected of game time, and people like Rashford and Garnacho and Anthony, these non-footballers playing over him. But Amad Diallo is an actual footballer, and we all know Man United struggled to provide the whole system for an actual footballer. Now, credit to him for being clutch, but where like it's the same thing I was criticizing Kai Havertz for, but like in his whole career, Man United players in general only turn up when they want to, because Man United fans, I'm not Man United fan, Man United players only turn up when they want to, because, for example, when they made it 1-1, they were just trying to get there because, okay, we're better than these lot, so we're going to get there. And then once they were like, okay, we can actually still win the game, they actually started to turn up. They actually started to pass the ball quickly. But I also do think that was due to the subs of, again, Collier. From what I've seen of Collier, looks really good. Like I think it's just another youngster trying to apply himself. I don't know whether he's going to be, good enough in general, but I still need to see more. But from what I've seen, he needs to get more game time with the Rasmus Højlund. As you said earlier, man, this guy has no touch, no finishing, no physical presence, no link-up play, no movement. This guy just wrestles with defenders and grabs onto them. He's looking at defenders more of the time. I don't know. He needs to delve into another section of life. Let's say it like that. But like with other players in the team, we always get these wishy-washy, turn up in moments type players from Man United. The Garnachos of the world, the Bruno Fernandes of the world. It's all good when Man United are playing against a team like Man City, like Liverpool, like Arsenal, as King said. Obviously, yes, it's a rivalry, but these teams will give you more space because they have more of the ball. Now, Southampton have more of the ball. Like Lenny Yoro, like Sulemana made him look like Ice JJ Fish today, but at the same time, Lenny Yoro is just going and stuff like that. Anyone with a brain, though, knew Lisandro Martinez was not going to work in this system because he doesn't defend well in the wide areas, and he never has. Every time this guy gets taken out wide, he gets skinned, and Tyler Dibbling, for this guy's the real deal. I don't think he should go to a Big Six club straight away, but I think he should go to a tier below just so he doesn't rush his career, because this guy's still 17, 18, whatever. But with Man United, it's been typical Man United. As De Ligt turned up, had to do all the work for the other 2 centre-backs. As King said as well, I was thinking this during the game, Mazzarri needs to go back to that right centre-back. Like, even though Sulemana is faster than him as well, Mazzarri has more defensive awareness in that position. He's more natural in that position, because as if you're playing in that back 3 under Amorim, you're going to get taken down wide a lot. You need to be used to that. To that. So you're going to get 1v1 by these wingers, and they were playing split strikers. They were playing the wingers to split strikers just to get the 1v1 with the centre backs. That's why their manager targeted. Take the centre backs out wide and attack you 1v1, and they have to be more aware of that. But with Man United in general, this is another one of them ones where, cool, they've got the win, but can they carry it on? Can they go on a run of form finally? Probably not, because these players will probably let this manager down. I do think this manager needs to do better team selections, but that's really my only criticism from a neutral angle. They need to trust in Amorim. They're not going to do anything in January, well, from the looks of it, but for the summer, man, proper clear out's needed.
Yeah, for sure. In the
Yeah,
summer,
I agree.
well, very quickly, Prime, what did you think of the game, man? Watching them today.
Omar, you know at the beginning how you were saying that how United and like I was right to say that with United that I don't fully trust them in being able to
Yeah.
beat Southampton.
Mhm.
Like Leslie Oguchukwu, up until he got taken off, the best player on the pitch. The guy's phenomenal. And I've been telling Chelsea fans how good this guy is. Bring him back. We need a defensive midfielder. I can't trust Lavia's fitness. I need him back.
Mm.
But yeah, bro. Ahmad wasn't having the best of games, but that's what these good players do, man. You turn up when it's needed, and scoring a hat trick is crazy. So crazy. More hat tricks than Rashford, more hat tricks than Saka. Man United, if it wasn't for, like, really, you guys probably should have lost that game. Probably at best, or at best get a draw. And that's why going into this, I predicted draw because I didn't trust Man United to win, but I didn't trust Southampton to do enough to win the game either.
Yeah.
And I just look at it with United. This is what games are going to be like until the season ends, really. It's going to be so up and down. Against the lesser sides, it will be on a knife's edge. But when you play the big games, you'll get a result. And as long as United fans understand that as a whole, I know you do, Rook King, and some United fans do, but as a whole, your fan base, if you guys understand what it is and you're able to accept it, at least until, because in January, I don't think you guys will sign enough players to maybe make a big difference. But if you guys understand what it is until the summer, then it is what it is. But yeah, Ahmad is just a crazy footballer. Hey, I said a few months ago that I'll take Ahmad at Chelsea, and I was being told that we have Madueke and Co. It is what it is, man. Yeah, Rasmus. I remember when United bought him, right? You had certain big content United creators saying that he's a better footballer than Haaland and stuff like that.
Better than Jackson as well. That was
they'll go machine for machine and stuff like that, man. United fans are just like Arsenal fans, man. You guys will defend the ass players, man. You'll defend the garbage.
Yeah.
At least, they will question the ballers, but they will always defend it.
At least Havertz is scoring a few goals. Havertz is still not good, but at least he's scoring a few goals.
Yeah, Havertz is better than Højlund, and I don't rate Havertz like that. But you know what I'm saying?
Like 1 in 16 or something or did he go 0016 last season or something?
Who, Rasmus?
Yeah.
He went 0016 twice. I think he went 0016 twice. Yeah.
How do you do that twice? In the prime?
Yeah.
People always talk about that. When they say about Kai Havertz, who was 007? Was it Modric? Mudrik, who was like?
It was Sancho. Sancho was the one that started the whole 007 thing.
Oh, so okay. So it's funny. It's funny how when it comes to Højlund, nobody really takes it seriously, right? This guy went 2 times.
He's young.
Wait.
But he's a,
wait. 007 twice. Is that just in the Prem or in all comps?
I think it's in. I think in the Prem. I'm pretty sure. No, it might be all comp.
He went on a punch of scoring. Stop scoring. Punch of scoring. Stop scoring.
No, that has to be all comps. But hey, because he scored a few goals in the Europa League, it's all good, man.
Yeah, man.
The Champions League last year, whatever.
Champions League.
Yeah, scored braces in the Champions League. Scored 2 braces in 2 games in the Champions League and in the Europa League, and all of a sudden, he's the guy. Yeah, 72 million, but 72 million. But when someone was 73 million and 75 million, hey, Romelu Lukaku and Jadon Sancho, hey, different energy.
Hey, you know what?
Hey, we know why. We know why.
People will say about Lukaku, he's got the touch of a donkey. Lukaku bags. Lukaku may not have a first touch, but at least his touch ends up in the back of the net. He can bag.
I'm not going to
Hey,
say
bro,
what Hoyland doesn't touch him, bro.
bro, when you guys bought Hoyland, I just remembered. I just watched. I know we shouldn't judge in terms of like comps. You can't really judge on the player, right? But I just looked at a few comps of Rasmus, and when people were naming his biggest strengths are his hold up and link up play, and I was seeing the ball bounce off him at Atalanta, I was like, yeah, okay, cool. This is who you spent your money on.
Being good at hold up play doesn't mean wrestling off defenders, by the way. I don't think people get that misconstrued. Like,
I mean,
he's just
listen,
strong.
I don't think that's why I don't get into all of that,
Guys
bro.
trying to back in the players. The guy, what is he? 6'2"? Guys trying to back in the
6'3".
players.
6'3". You're Hoyland 6'3". You're 6'3", bro.
Yeah.
Hoyland should just do misfits boxing, bro. He should just do influence boxing.
No one's watching him on
real.
Netflix, bro.
For real.
Yeah.
He just fucking pause.
Yeah, my fan base of the new AFTV. I've said it before on Northside Channel. My fan base of the new AFTV because 85% of my fan base, say with Arsenal fans, will hype up any mediocrity. So that's my fan base, man. You know what I'm saying?
Double 16. It's crazy.
Yeah,
and bro, I don't even know. I like the fact that that's not known. People don't, or maybe it's just me. I didn't know about that.
People don't talk
about a lot of people didn't know about that. A lot of people didn't know.
What it is, Prime. It's because nobody puts attention to it. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody has put it. Like people put attention when Sancho was doing it. People put attention when other players do it. But when it comes to guys like Hoyland, no one was like. Everyone was just keeping it wraps. But yeah, let's quickly read some of these charts before we move to the next section. Big ups to X here. He says Adam. He's talking to Adam because he was basically talking about Chelsea's history, and basically he said, "You need to learn your history, bro. Chelsea won trophies before 2003. Man, United were the first English club to win a European Cup." I mean, he's not wrong. I think when Chelsea won the FA Cup was it in 98, 99? I think they won the FA Cup in like the 90s.
We beat Real Madrid in the final, I think, in
Cup Winners' Cup. Yeah, you won the cup. You won the Cup Winners' Cup. I think you won the FA Cup in there. They will say, "Yeah, you guys won the FA Cup." Right? So yeah, you guys were, and in fact, let's not forget. People think that Chelsea only became a Champions League team when Roman arrived. But to be fair, it was actually Chelsea being in the Champions League that made Roman buy Chelsea. Funny enough, people seem to forget that the year that Roman was going to buy a team in England, it was between Chelsea and Liverpool, who were playing each other in the last game of the season, and Chelsea won that game, and that's why Chelsea got bought by Roman. So yeah, man. Just to the man, just that's a little bit of history. But we're gonna talk about Chelsea next. Big up to Adam. He says, Hoyland breaking records. Respect, trust Amorim. This guy is just a troll, man. He says that are the stars aligning, King?
Well, it should be the other way around for you, bro. All the stars aligning for you, but hey, you know what I'm saying? Bro.
Listen,
don't worry about my team, bro.
Liverpool drew. We'll get into that one too. But Liverpool drew. Maybe the stars are aligning. Big up to it says X says Lukaku is a flat track bully. He's Odegaard if he was a striker, basically. Okay. X says nowhere near as many Arsenal. Nowhere near as many as Arsenal. Nothing in Europe. Take your own. Basically take your own advice. Wait. What is he talking? Is he talking about history when it comes to Europe? Are you talking about in Europe? I mean, they won the Cup Winners' Cup, which is something that you guys won before Roman arrived.
Wait, what are you talking about?
No, because he's still talking about Chelsea. Basically, he's saying that because he said trophies before 2003, right? So I'm like, wait, the Cup Winners' Cup is a European trophy, isn't it? European Cup Winners' Cup, right? That's a trophy for Cup winners, right? That's when you guys beat Madrid. That is a European trophy. So technically, you guys did win a European trophy before Roman arrived. So yeah.
I don't know why we're speaking. I don't know why we're. Omar, skip through that. I don't know why you're speaking about European trophies with Arsenal, man. Okay.
No, because just wanted to, just trying to because just trying to.
They've not won that. It's like it's not. Me trying to speak about winning the Premier League with Spurs fans.
Oh, there it is. Who won the Cup Winners' Cup in the 90s? Arsenal or Chelsea? Arsenal. But I mean, I think Arsenal. When did you guys win the Cup Winners? Which year do you know the year you guys won?
In '99, we beat Real Madrid in the final.
Yeah. So yeah, you there. They won it in 1999. So yeah, this is pre. But that's the thing. Adam, he's saying pre-Roman history. So that is pre-Roman. This is pre-Roman. So there you go, man. History full stop. Chelsea has been UCL since Prime became an Arsenal, became a Chelsea fan. Hey, listen. When you're a young man and you choose a team to support, you got to make the right decisions, man.
I didn't choose a team.
You know what's so ironic, Prime? Before you go, when I started watching football, Arsenal were actually one of the biggest clubs in the world, and they were actually challenging leagues. So it was very easy for people to become Arsenal fans in the early to mid 2000s. Do you understand what I'm saying? Right? Chelsea were just a club that was just when I started really watching football, Chelsea were on the rise, but they just started their rise. So they didn't have the pool that a team like Arsenal had yet. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm just saying.
I don't care. Alex, I was born into this. This is what it is.
But that's my point. Like, I became a Barcelona fan because of Ronaldinho and Eto'o and all of those players. You understand what I'm saying, right? I saw a lot of people become Madrid fans because of the Galacticos. You have people become Arsenal fans because of the Invincibles and Henry and Vieira and all of them, man. Yeah. Right? You have people who become fans of their clubs because they are from that side of the area, like Mikez. You understand what I'm saying?
I'm a fan of West Ham because my parents both support them. I didn't have a choice.
But that's my point. That's my point. People have, but that's the thing. That's what I'm saying, right? Like you see someone like Troops is an Arsenal fan because he comes from a family of Arsenal fans. You understand what I'm saying?
Right? Troops is also from. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, but it's pretty sure he's from the Arsenal era. I think he's from a Highbury Island thing. I'm pretty sure.
Anyway, let's
the Arsenal. He's from like the Arsenal
area, bro. Big up to that. He said, "Did you see Liverpool dropping points because of squad depth not being enough?" Yeah, we'll get into that too, man. We'll definitely get into that. And listen, that game was pretty good, man. That was an incredible game. Are you telling me that basically he's talking about 99? Do your math. What happened, bro? Okay. Let's go to the next segment because you clearly are not going to let this go. Let's go to the next segment. Chelsea, funny enough. Okay, Chelsea 2, Bournemouth 2, ladies and gentlemen. What a game that was. You guys kind of saved it in the end, getting a point at the end because you guys were losing. But I'm not going to lie. We did say this game was going to be hard. I did say Chelsea were going to win. But we knew this game was going to be difficult because Bournemouth have actually been having a good season as well. They've been having I feel because Nottingham Forest have having a crazy season where they're in the top 4, right? People are forgetting how good Bournemouth have been this season as well, right? But yeah, at the end of the day, you guys did save it in the end. Prime, talk to me, man. What did you think of the game? I did watch the highlight. I didn't watch the full game. I watched the highlights obviously because I was doing the Barca watch along. But so talk to me, man. What did you think of the performance all around, man?
We score early. We create abundance of chances in the first half. We don't take our chances. Goretzka fails to make a tweak at halftime. The opposition is proactive in the game. They equalize. And that's the story of how Chelsea have been all season, by the way. It's not just this rough patch of games we've been on. We've been like this all season where if we take our chances, we'll win. If we don't take our chances, we don't win. We don't control games at all. Maresca was being proactive in terms of substitutions earlier in the season and making tactical tweaks. He's now not doing either anywhere near quick enough. Right. Jackson's not taking his chances. Palmer's not taking his chances. We're not playing Madueke, who people can say what they want about Madueke. I'm not even his biggest fan, but he is an actual goal threat from our wings, which is what we're missing. Sancho's not a consistent goal threat. In my opinion, I think Neto's better on the left than he is on the right, but that's a different conversation to have. We're missing Lavia in midfield, which is why I keep talking about bringing back Leslie. He's an actual defensive midfielder. Caicedo seems to be a
Southampton midfielder?
Yeah, he's on loan.
Yeah, I know. He's on loan.
Yeah.
I know.
Leslie Oguchov, yeah. He was the one that had Man United in a chokehold until he came off. And
wow.
Hat-trick.
He did have a good game. You're right. He did have a good game.
Bold. But I've been telling people how good this guy is. But, hey, yeah, we're just going through. You know when a rot is happening,
Right.
and you're just losing games, and you just need to end the rut with a win. That's what we need. We just need to win. And I thought that would happen against Bournemouth when we went 1-0 up early. I thought, cool, just win this game, get through it, and then we can just start building something. But no, it's not. Reece James, free kick.
Yeah.
Quality.
Hey, what a goal.
But,
Hey, listen.
We lose that game without that free kick. So thanks, Reece. But
Max.
doesn't. Who cares? I guess. We were fifth now. Newcastle won.
Oh, right. That's true.
We
Newcastle
were linked to
have
Mateus Tell on Monday, and now we're linked to the Black Mudrik in Adeyemi.
I mean, I've heard about it that Matisse Tell thing might be collapsing.
I know. So I don't know. We need a striker to come in because Jackson, like, I hear the stuff about Jackson missing chances. That's fine, okay. But I said like 3-4 games ago, this guy's burning out because he's playing so much. He's not having a chance to come out and rest. Maresca doesn't want to play in QQ, and when he does, he plays him as a 9 when he's not a 9. He doesn't want to play Gui, which is fine. Gui's young, so we need a striker to come in. He doesn't want to play Felix either, so we need a striker to come in. Palmer is just like, I can't even. This is not even necessarily that he's playing bad per se, because he's still playing well. He's still creating chances. He's still getting goal scoring opportunities. But this is the second game now where he's lost the ball in midfield closer to our goal that has resulted in like a goal for the opposition, and that's bad. I don't know, like, just everything that just can go bad is going bad at Chelsea. Whereas earlier in the season, one thing would probably go bad, but we'd still get away with it. Where we'd miss chances, but we'd still get away with it and win. Or we would make bozo mistakes defensively, Sanchez, Cole, or whatever, but we'd still get away with it and win. Or Maresca would probably make the wrong sub or make a late sub, but we'd still get away with it and win. But now, everything is going bad. We don't control games. We're missing chances. Maresca's making late subs. He's not making tactical tweaks. Sanchez is still being Sanchez. Colwell's Colwell. And it's just, we just need to end this rut. And it's not getting it easier now because we play.
Are you guys playing this weekend?
We play Monday. Who are we playing Monday? I forgot.
Wolves at home.
Okay, so Wolves at home should. I mean, look, I know what you mean, but Wolves, I feel like the manager bounce has kind of died out over there now, right? So it should. And also, I think his conference league is this week, right? Next week, right? There's conference league next week.
No, not for Chelsea. Our group stage is finished. We're done.
All right. But still, I still think that the game against Wolves at home, especially it's at home, right? Wolves don't really travel well they don't really travel well, especially without Cunha, right? But I do see the points that you're definitely making. But speaking of strikers, why are you guys not trying to go back in for Osimhen? Or because we haven't heard anything about that.
The Osimhen, leaving Jackson, leaving Maresca. Nothing I've said is like anything against Maresca or I'm just being honest about what's going on. With Osimhen, I don't know. So the reason why he's at Galatasaray is because we tried to get him. It didn't work because of like his agent and ADL De Laurentiis at Napoli trying to like get more money so he can go Saudi and stuff like that and screwing the deal over or whatever. He's at Galatasaray because they were the only window open. The Turkish league was the only window open in Europe for him to go to, so he went there. When he signed, there was like a clause in his contract saying that he could break the loan deal, so Chelsea could buy him if we wanted to, or at least get him on loan, I guess, maybe to the end of the season or something. I don't know why we're not doing that, because we're being linked to like the Lap, Evan Ferguson on loan. We came out with Matthias Tell and now Adeyemi. For me, I would go get Osimhen on loan and have it be on, like, say, an option to buy. Maybe it would have to be an obligation to buy. I would do that. But yeah, I don't know what's going on. We brought back Trevor Chalobah because we spent 2 weeks of this window or half of this window, whatever, trying to sign um Mark Guehi from Palace, and they wanted this. They wanted a 60 million price tag, I think, and we have a 20% sell-on clause on him. So, like, spending that amount of money on him when we already
But
have
Marco,
that.
he's one of your youngsters, right? Who you guys
He
let
was
go?
part of Cobham, and we sold him 2 seasons ago, I think.
Oh,
Yeah. So we brought back Trevor Chalobah, who I don't rate. Chelsea fans trying to say he's a good centre back and he's better than what we have. People are gonna, if he's starting week in week out, people will find out very quickly the guy's not good. But because he's from Cobham, no one will speak on it. Everyone will want to criticize the sassy Costin, which is fine. I understand. But the likes of Colwell and Chalobah are not much better. People will find that out very, very quickly. I'd rather just play Josh Achingpong at centre back until the end of the season. This guy's actually good.
right.
But yeah, I don't know. We have to figure this out. And if that's the thing, when you have a young manager, an inexperienced manager like Maresca is, he's only had 1 season.
Mm-hmm.
This rut that we're going on, if we had an experienced manager, even Amram, he's relatively young. He's still very experienced. He's been managing for like 7 or 8 years, almost a decade. Amram would be able to figure out this rut we're in right now and get us out of it, just because of the experience he has. Maresca doesn't have that. So, and that's the thing when you have a young manager learning on the job. When you go through bad ruts like this, we saw what Arsenal went with Arteta the first couple of years. When you go through that bad rut, you need something to get you out of it. Now, what Arteta had at Arsenal was he would play Chelsea to get him out of his bad rut. We don't have a team to get us out of it right now. We're not facing Spurs until like February, March. So what, we're just going to lose every game until then? No, I don't know. It's just, but even with everything I'm saying, the thing I'm most annoyed with is this fan base.
Right.
It was only a few weeks ago. Remember, I was praising this fan base for being like everyone on the same hymn sheet about us not being in a title race. And I know you rivals, you didn't like the whole chill guy gimmick, but the fact that all the Chelsea fans were all agreed we're not in a title race, I liked it. It was the first time we're all unified. Now everything's in disarray. You've got Chelsea fans at games beefing with Fator and talking about how like it's just showing racial undertones is just so weird. You've got Chelsea fans who never liked Maresca in the first place, but they don't want to say Maresca out because it's not the popular opinion. So they're saying things about Maresca and comparing his first 18 games to Potter's last 18 and saying it's very similar. He's only done well so far because of he's built off of what Poch laid the foundations, and now it's whimpered out. He has no ideas. He's bad, etc., etc. But they don't want to say Maresca out because it's not the popular opinion. I see what you are. Just be honest, because as Chelsea fans, you've never shied away with calling out a manager or a player for not being good early. If you guys don't actually like Maresca, just come out and say it. Stop being chicken. But they don't want to say it because it's not.
They don't rate Maresca, but the problem is everything is too good right now, so they don't want to sound like a hater.
The thing is,
so
it's actually not,
so they just
because the run that we're on,
before, bro.
they should say it. But the thing is, right? Because even on these last few games, performances and stuff, I agree, it's not acceptable. But I've expected this to happen because I've been talking about stuff like this all season. Because we've been winning, it's been okay. But ultimately, I expected us to start well, then go through a bad patch. We're in that bad patch now.
Right.
Only a month ago, the reason why we were in a title race, quote unquote, was because of how poor Arsenal or City were and Newcastle and the likes. Now that this last month we've lost games, Newcastle is at scoring now and they've picked up form. City are now winning a few games. Arsenal winning a few games. Now the table looks like where we should be, 4th, 5th, competing for top 4. That's where we should be.
Right.
But people are angry because they actually bought into that hype. They allowed rivals and the media to gas them into a title race that we are not in. So, like, for me, I'm cool. I'm annoyed with this fan base. When am I not annoyed with this fan base? But overall, I still think we'll be fine. I still think we will get top 4, but we just need to.
Yeah, I feel like some people are kind of listen. At the end of the day, I understand when you say the rut because this is the thing. We kind of went through that around December. That's why you guys could see, right? You could see like when we're dropping home points at home to Las Palmas, to Leganes, all of these teams, and we were like, listen, we just need to just get that first boost, a morale boosting win, like a good win where the team can just come back together and basically take confidence out from that, right? And when we came back in the season, we played Bobestro in the Copa del Rey. We dominated with a rotated team. In the Copa del Rey, when we won against Bilbao, who had been in good form, you could see that confidence is what they took to the final against Madrid. That's why we play well against Madrid. Look at us yesterday. Like the confidence right now is so high at Barca, bro. You can see they're playing, they're so comfortable. That win against Real Madrid gave them that confidence of now we're free now. You understand what I'm saying? Like there's no target in our backs. And I feel like that's what Chelsea need. They need that statement win against Wolves to kind of remind them that listen, it's just a little bit of a hiccup here and there. We'll be back. This is who we're going to be for the rest of the season, right? We haven't forgotten how good we are, right? So yeah, I think that's what you guys definitely need to do against Wolves at home. And the game against Wolves, like I said, should be a good way for them to get back into winning ways, honestly. But Mikes, what did you think of the game? I'm sure if you did see the result or the game or watch the highlights.
Yeah, I watched the highlights because obviously I was at the West Ham game, which was at the same time.
Right.
But when I saw the highlights, nothing really surprised me. And I think I haven't been able to watch Chelsea as of late when they've been on their dip of form. But as Prime has mentioned before, for me, I kind of expected an eventual dip in form because it's just like, okay, it's getting ridiculous now. These lot haven't lost since Liverpool at the time, and then they lost to Fulham, and then cool, whatever, they've gone through that patch. But it's kind of expected. I feel like everyone, as Prem said, they were nearly unified in not, everyone thinking they were in the title race and stuff like that. But now everyone's kind of like overreacting a bit, maybe. But at the same time, there are issues there. Like, just Jackson is, but now Jackson's not got any competition because Nkunku's future's up in there, and he's not even a striker. Even Maresca said it himself. I saw that quote. So there's that, and that Mark Guiu guy is like 17, 18, whatever, and it probably doesn't trust him to throw him in straight away. And there's a lot of discourse about their depth now because maybe it wasn't good as some people were saying it was, etc. But also, I never really expected Chelsea to win every game of November, December, January. I know some Chelsea fans didn't either, which is fair. And it did, and people would be like, "Well, did you predict Chelsea to lose to Ipswich?" Not necessarily, but you expect Chelsea to have a hiccup. When you look at our fixtures, where a team should beat all of the teams that they're coming up against, they will always lose or draw to one because this is the Premier League, and this is just football in general, not just the Premier League. That happens in football, like just in general. But with Chelsea, they're in the top 4 race. They always have been. I've always said with Prime, if they carried on that form until the end of February, we could talk about title. But like they never really had the strength for that. And I just thought it was just too soon. It was just too soon. It's not like Liverpool where they already had the star quality and they brought the new manager in, and those players have been in the title race before. All of these players are still new. Even some of the longer servants are still kind of new.
Right.
So it's still been like 2-3 years at the club or whatever. Like people like Reece James have been in obviously a long time, but that's Reece James, came from the academy. But a lot of these new signings that are now not so new, it was still only like 2-3 years ago. Like the thing is, Chelsea could challenge next season if they sign the right players. In my opinion, obviously the manager needs to fix up as some Chelsea fans with the subs, like because this guy, when I remember watching Chelsea a lot more at the start of the season, he was making proactive subs, as Pram said, like the Sancho sub at Anfield, etc. Obviously, like just depth in certain issues as well, where like players are injury prone, so you gotta have the quality, you gotta prepare for a player of that same caliber of quality to come in when they're injury prone, like a Lavia. I think Lavia is the most natural 6 they have, so they've got to have a natural 6 to come in and help. The Caicedos and Enzos and whatever, especially Caicedo, because Caicedo has been having a great season. So he's one of the players you probably want to build around a lot more. I hear what people are saying as well. They kind of have like a lot of creative wingers, not a lot of goal scoring wingers. And I think that's fair because I think Sancho can play a part. I think Neto can play a part, but can they all, conjure up together week in, week out? Probably not. But that's because of the lack of different profiles. I guess. But Chelsea always the top four race is going to be inconsistent throughout the season. The last two places are going to come down to what Forest, Chelsea, City, Newcastle, whatever, and we'll see who gets there. I can't guarantee that Chelsea will get top four, but they'll be up there. And I predicted them to finish sixth at the start of the season. Expectations change throughout the season.
Right.
And they did a lot better than I thought they would. I didn't think they'd do poorly or anything. But my whole thing is you kind of expected them to be in the top four race in the first season. Understand why Chelsea fans, have higher standards and stuff because they're Chelsea. But I think if they don't challenge next season, I can understand why there'd be more question marks. But for first season, there's nothing really to chat about and put up in the air like that.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And for his first season, the way he's playing right now, I would say, listen, at the end of the day, he's proven enough that, listen, at the end of the day, he deserves to be given time, right? Because if you're going to give a manager time, they need to show you something. And this manager has shown more than the last two managers you've had here. So I don't know why a lot of these fans are just acting like, things were better before this guy arrived. Let's be real.
Exactly.
But quickly, King.
I never
King.
wanted them in the first place. That's why.
Yeah, but we know. But King, did you? What about you? Did you see the Chelsea game?
Yeah. I watched. I watched. Yeah.
So what did you think of the game, bro? Very quickly.
I agree a lot with what Prime said. Obviously, I've watched a lot of. I watched a lot of Chelsea as well, and yeah, like obviously in recent games that they've struggled to take their chances, and the longer that you struggle to take your chances, it gives more optimism for the opposition because they know that they are still in the game. Obviously, I rate Nicholas Jackson as a player. I think Nicholas Jackson is a baller, but we all know that Nicholas Jackson is not the greatest of he's not the greatest finisher. He's not the greatest finisher, but his overall game, I rate his overall game. But obviously, we all know that he's not the greatest finisher, and obviously it's not all on Jackson, but some of the chances that he's missed have contributed to Chelsea. Obviously, dropping points. Obviously, I said it before. I rate Enzo Maresca as a manager, and I did rate him when he first came in. What he did with Ben Chilwell and Raheem Sterling, I rated what he did there at the start of the season. His ruthlessness and his tweaks and his adaptation. I rated that, but the thing is with Maresca is obviously he's still persisting with Sanchez. We all know that Sanchez has got a mistake in him, and we all know that in the 75th minute he makes the substitutions when he should be making the substitutions early. I think that has to be the biggest criticism for Enzo Maresca. That's the biggest criticism that I would give, is that he needs to make the substitutions more earlier. Obviously, in Nkunku, he said that Nkunku's not a 9, but he's played Nkunku as a 9 when he's not a 9. But but like Prime says, he does not really fancy Felix. He was playing Felix a bit at the start of the season, but all of a sudden he's gone off Felix for some reasons. So yeah, and Desassi obviously might be not the greatest defender, but obviously he's worse at right back. I seen Maresca play Desassi in certain games at right back, and we all knew under Pochettino, when Pochettino was playing Desassi as a right back at times, we all know he's not great as a right back. So we all know Desassi is a centre back. He does slightly better at centre back. Obviously, Levi Caldwell at times switches off defensively. Obviously, he's good at his passing, he's breaking line passing, but defensively he's a bit vulnerable. Obviously, they've missed Fofana as well from injury, because Fofana gives them that recovery pace, and at times Fofana carries the ball out from the back and stuff like that. So they do miss that. I think Caicedo has easily been best midfielder or one of the best players in the Premier League and and arguably in Europe. But I think the past two or three games, I think he's been a bit. I think he's been a bit tired. I think Caicedo's been a bit tired the past 2 or 3 games, and obviously, I think he needs. I think he needs resting in certain games because he's played a lot of football. Same with Jackson. I think Jackson's played a lot of football. Cole Palmer, he's another one who I've always rated very highly. I rated Cole Palmer since when he I think I remember it was last season where Chelsea played Manchester City and they drew 4-4. I remember that game and Cole Palmer. I remember Cole Palmer standing out in that game, and I said from there that this guy's a baller. But obviously, on the last season, Cole Palmer, when he was on the right and stuff, he would drifting. He would drifting in the middle. He would drifting in the middle and getting into spaces and dropping deep and all of this and that. But now, obviously, he's playing as a 10, and he's like at times he's drifting on the left, and a lot of Chelsea fans I know that are not happy with Palmer on the left. I know they are not happy with that. You can see Palmer when he drifts into central, when he's on the right and he drifts into central areas. You know that Palmer, you know that's where Palmer's at his best. Pedro Neto did well at Wolves, but Pedro Neto, like he's good at crossing, but he needs to do more than crossing. He needs to add a bit more variety to his game, because when he crosses the ball, like a lot of the time there's really no one in the box. So he needs to add more variety in his game instead of trying to cross the ball and hoping someone will get on the end of it. So yeah, man. I think it's nothing to panic too much. Obviously, Chelsea are a very young team. I think they like one of the youngest teams in the Premier League. If I'm not wrong, but with a young team, you're always gonna get some form of inconsistency, and you're gonna get rots where you're not playing well. But Maresca does need to pack some ideas, because we've seen it. Like for example, we've seen he can adapt. We can see, for example, in the Tottenham game where Caicedo was playing as a right back, and then he changed it, and then he put Gusto on that right back, and then he put Caicedo back in the midfield, and then there was a lot better in the second half. Again, like so we've seen that Maresca can adapt and he can change things, but he needs to do it. He needs to start doing it more often, because sometimes he does it recently, sometimes he does it too late. Gusto, who last season was probably considered as one of the best right backs in the Premier League last season, has like fell off a cliff as well this season, because he's been trying to invert from in midfield at right back, and it's not been working. So yeah, man. Like obviously, I predicted Chelsea will get top 4 as well. I said Chelsea would get top 4 because the attackers that they have, even though their defense is not great, I think they will outscore a lot of the teams, and we all know in the top 4 you don't have to be great to get in the top 4. You know what I'm saying. So, but yeah, Chelsea just need to pack their ideas in order, and obviously they need to get a centre back, obviously a goalkeeper. I'm not sure they will get a goalkeeper because they've got loads of goalkeepers, but but they need to get a goalkeeper. They need to get a centre back. Obviously, they probably need someone to come in for Caicedo, and they need a striker. Obviously, I think Sancho. Obviously, I was very sad when Sancho went to Chelsea. I think he's done decent overall when Sancho has come in. Obviously, You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he's done very well in this system. But yeah, man, like, yeah, that's all I will say on that. I think.
All right, cool. But yeah, let's quickly switch gears to the next one. I really want to talk about this one very quickly because guy Mike's is here. Mike's West Ham 3, Fulham 2. We listen. I don't think any of us here. I think I I predicted you guys would win. I'm sure. I think I predicted you guys would win 2-1. I think I said 2-1. I said Potter would get his first win on his first home game, and I've been vindicated, man. Because listen, I watched the game, and I'll be honest, right? Fulham were definitely they had more of the chances. They were creating more and everything, but you guys were more clinical in the end. Yeah. Which is something that is rare. Like that is like that's something you guys have not been able to say this season. Scoring 3 goals, man. Like you guys were like when I watched the game late, you guys were already 3-1 up. When I watched, I was like, wow, like this must be a new feeling for guys like Mike's this season. Just sitting there, just watching this, like you know that meme of like when you have that meme of like the guy who was having chicken for the first time. Like that was the first time he had good food. He just took a bite and just started crying, bro. He just started crying because he's like, yo, it's been a long time. Like I could just imagine those goals going in, and just Max was like, bro, I have missed this kind of football. I've missed this kind of football for so long. Like this is the whole time I've had to deal with this guy for so many weeks. Every week being miserable, and then this manager just comes in out of nowhere. And then already in one game has already given me more entertainment in one game than this guy has given me all season. Yep. Like I saw your Mike's reaction, and I was just sitting there. I was like, yo, it's so good to see Mike's actually happy, man. This is actually like this is such a rare feeling for Mike's. Mike's is just like so happy, man. He's just happy. Like he was already happy that Lopetegui was gone. But just watching that game was just like it's as if I told you guys that this guy wasn't good enough. But yeah, man. 3-2 against Fulham. It was actually a London derby, by the way. Let's not forget it was a London rival. Talk to me, man. Talk to me.
Yeah. Where do we start? Joe, it is. I will be real. Like the 3 goals, I'm impressed more with the way we got them rather than the actual goals themselves. Because I'll be real. When you say you've never seen, I've missed this kind of football. I've never seen this kind of football. I've never seen this kind of football. Like I grew up on Avram Grant, get us relegating us. That's when I started going to games as a 7-year-old. And then Sam Allardyce, Bilic, Moyes, Pellegrini, and the non-manager. And now I've got Potter. And the thing is, like I've already seen the style of play. I know what you're trying to do. How many times have I come on the show or on my channel? I've said, "What are you trying to do?" That's all I want to know this season. Give me 10th on what you're trying to do, and then we can talk about Europe next season. Because a lot of people would have predicted us to finish in Europe. I was trying to calm everyone down and be like, "No, I like the window, but like it's this shit that will take time." And it's West Ham we're talking about. This stuff does not click straight away with West Ham. It never does. But with Potter, he's an actual coach. I haven't seen an actual coach at his club ever. To be honest with you, like a proper coach in my time. And we're talking, I've been watching football since 2009. Like, we ain't seen a coach in for a while. We ain't seen a manager in a while. Like, Moyes was a good manager. Then before that, you're going way back. And the thing is with this team, it's better than what people were seeing. But the previous manager was dragging it down a lot. Like a back 4 of Wan-Bissaka, Todibo, Kilman, and Emerson should not like be conceding this many goals. Unfortunately, we still have Mavropanos. He still exists. Yes, he still exists. Unfortunately,
for you.
Unfortunately, he hasn't gone on with my request on selling fish down the local market or selling off-brand shoes or anything. He's still a footballer. Right. However, this is the thing. People can say that Fulham had like 20 shots or whatever, but Fulham were shooting from weird angles that they should have been shooting from anyway. And also the 2 goals they conceded were just purely like bozo moments. Good crosses by Iwobi, but they were bozo moments that we should have done way better. Fabianski, Kilman, and Mavropanos should all do as a collective way better and just communicate. And people can be like, well, their goals were errors as well, but we pressed them into those errors. I've never seen a West Ham team press not good, and not consistently, not every game. So I want to see more. I want to see us press high up the pitch. I'm asking for minimal things. I'm asking for very little things. Just press high up the pitch so you can put teams under pressure so they can make mistakes. Leno made a mistake for the third goal. Andres Pereira made a mistake for the first goal. I can't remember the second goal. Yeah, Calvin Bassey and Anderson both made mistakes for the second goal. And
Right.
this is the team, by the way. We are missing Tadibo. We are missing Bowen. We are missing both two strikers in Fulkrug and Antonio. We are missing players. And we are missing Crysencio Somerville. And before, and in the Villa game, we were missing Emerson. We were playing Paquetá up front. And Kudus and Soler just in behind. I've been telling people about Carlos Soler for a very long time as well. Another player that the manager held back. And he's only on loan. If we could get him for cheap, I'd like to make that permanent. Only if it's cheap, though, because obviously he's 27. Like, cool, how many years you really going to get out of him? But
Right.
at the same time, he's a very good footballer. Very good footballer playing in his actual position. And the best part about Potter is that there isn't one formation. It is quite fluid throughout. And that's where he was at Brighton. And like it was like a 4-2-3-1 at times, a 3 at the back at times. But it kind of didn't really matter because there was a plan. Instead of under the previous manager, there was no structure, but everyone kind of just being all over the place. Whether there was a plan to everything. Like I can see in the ground that Potter's tweaking in game. So we had a disallowed goal off a free kick, and I can see Potter's giving instructions to Wan-Bissaka and Kudus to press in a different way, and we pressed even more aggressive.
Right.
Wan-Bissaka was higher up the pitch, and that's what got us the first goal by him tweaking it in game. And the thing is, even though the first 20 minutes people were talking about, but we didn't have a shot, we were pretty much in control. We just needed to be a bit more brave, and we had a lack of runners in behind because of the players we had available. We didn't have Bowen, we didn't have Somerville, but we were passing the ball really well. And I'll hold my hands up for this specific game. Edson Alvarez, well done, because that Villa game you were horrible. But this is the type of performances I want to see from you. This is what we signed you for. If you can carry on like that, I'll shut up. But you got to carry that for more than one game. I want to see that week in, week out. Same with Souček as well. Souček's been great as of recently. And this is someone I've criticised a lot, but I've criticised rightly so. And the stuff I criticised him for, he's played well. He's been good on the ball. Souček has been good on the ball. He's played well in the possession-based system, and he got his goal. I'm not just praising him for his goal, like everyone does for every player. I'm praising you for your whole performance. He was one of the better players on the pitch. Paquetá was great. This is the Paquetá I want to see, but just cut the BS. Cut the diving, like, because you're losing the ball too much. Stop playing to the refs. Stop trying to do everything solo. Shoot more as well, because this guy can shoot. He just doesn't do it enough. He's got a long shot on him, but he always wants to pass to someone else. He was playing well in the full stand, because he was drifting wherever he wanted to, and he can play in multiple positions. As Graham Potter even said in his presser, he trusts Paquetá to play multiple positions. So I feel like he's going to be his Pascal Gross at Brighton almost, where Pascal Gross was playing in every position. Right. So I think Paquetá is going to be like that for us. And listen, we've got Palace on the weekend, and listen, we've got to get a win in that game because Villa and Chelsea away after. I can't like. There's still 2 difficult away days. Obviously I'm going to be a little bit more hopeful, but very tiny bit more hopeful because we don't travel well to Chelsea. We just lost to Villa in the FA Cup as well. Haven't beaten Unai Emery since he's been in the Premier League. But we need to win this. We need to win this weekend. Like if you want to go on some form of like a good run of performances, etc. But for me, this is now all a 8-month preseason till September. Get used to these players. Get used to these players that you want to keep. We need a striker in January, regardless of the situation. Get someone on a permanent if you can. If not, get someone on a loan with an obligation to buy or whatever. But someone that's actually a bit more mobile, someone that's younger, someone that can give us a different option, someone that isn't injury prone. But this is pretty much all training until September. Get used to your place. He wants to trust the academy as well, finally, because we have a decent academy now. We can trust some academy kids like coming through and stuff that are actually good enough, because some of these grads are good enough. But we've always, like, obviously West Ham fans always want to include academy kids in, but sometimes you can't just include them for the sake of it, because some of them haven't been good enough. Like, they're not good enough for West Ham United, but we've finally got some that are, and Potter wants. That was one of the things that Potter wants to bring, to West Ham, and that was something that they interviewed him for as well. And he trusts Ollie Scholes. I'm sure he will trust a few other players as well. And this is now basically like, who are you going to keep for next season? get them used to your system, go on a run of performances. The season's basically over. We're out of the FA Cup. We were out of the Carabao Cup a long time ago. So now it's just a case of try and get a higher position as possible. I'm not pinning any expectations on you because we're not going to get any relegated because this is halfway through the season. Next season, cool, there'll be a bit more expectation from me because listen, I can't wait forever. But if I can trust you, if I can see what you're trying to do, I'll be way more patient. I'll be way more patient than I was under the previous manager because literally the thing I was complaining about is what are you trying to do?
What are you trying to do? Yeah, I see.
yeah.
I see where you're coming from. You just want to see. You want to see something to believe in. So you come like, I see what you're doing. I'll give it time.
Trust me to trust you. Like, trust me to give you time, sort of thing.
Exactly. No, I hear that.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because like in the first 5 games, playing like this is the thing. A report came out of the Athletic, and it literally is what I've been saying since September. That the players were confused about what Lopetegui was trying to do because he was playing possession-based football in training, but he was instructing them to do different things in the match. So, like, use your brain. Like, how has this guy got the CV that he has? I do not know, but all right, he can learn Chinese or whatever. I don't care now. But this is the thing I've been screaming about, though. Like, in the Man City game, we played possession-based football where we lost 3-1 at the start of the season. And that was the best performance because we played possession-based football. And I was like, I'm not going to blame Lopetegui for today. We created chances. We should have finished them. That was on game week 3. International break came about. Then we started playing long ball football against Fulham away and scraped a 1-1 draw. I'm like, okay, I could already see the red flags. And I was like, if we lose to Chelsea at home, cool. Now I'm going to have some big problems. And he went a whole different game plan against Chelsea as well. He went man-to-man with them. And we've got battered.
It didn't work out and you got battered.
Yeah, absolutely battered. So that's what I was like, okay, this guy's a fraud. This guy's an absolute fraud, a bozo, whatever. He has no identity.
Because I echoed this from the start of the season before you guys even played the game. I was like, yo, you guys had such a great transfer window, but you messed it up with this manager because this manager is not good enough. So
now we've got an actual coach.
I think this Graham Potter appointment is actually pretty good because Graham Potter has shown that he can work with different kinds of players. You understand what I'm saying? Right. Yeah. I feel like for a club of West Ham stature, I feel like with the Chelsea move might have been a little bit too big for him or too early for him. So I feel like West Ham is a different proposition because West Ham are not looking to challenge for the league and all of this stuff. It would be great for them to basically make themselves. Basically, they're just trying to put themselves in the position where Aston Villa are, where Newcastle are. Basically, it'll be competitive. Basically, you understand what I'm saying? Just
that's basically that's basically what we want. I thought that Chelsea. I think he's not like. I think the jobs are too big for him for that kind of caliber club. Like,
I hear you. I hear you.
There's different kind of there's pressure here, but it's a different kind of pressure.
I hear you. But quickly for the rest of you guys, very quickly, because I do want to go to the Liverpool part before we do close out, right? Before we do my prediction and close out. What do you guys think of like the Potter's? How do you guys think Potter will do in the West Ham?
I think he would do well. I think he would do well. I think he's a good coach, Graham Potter. Like I said, like Mike said, I think the Chelsea job was a bit too far for him. But one thing that I think West Ham fans can guarantee is that Graham Potter, you will get a style of play from Graham Potter because wherever Graham Potter's been, there's always been a style of play. He's always stuck to his philosophy. So there is going to be an identity there. And also, I think the biggest strength of Graham Potter is in-game. In-game, he can adapt. In-game, he can tweak and adapt certain things. That's what he does well in-game. In-game management, that's what he does well. Graham Potter, because at times he can go with a back 3, sometimes a back 4, sometimes a back 5. Like, he mixes it up sometimes in certain games. So he's able to adapt in certain games to certain opposition. So obviously under West Ham, under Lopetegui, I don't know what that guy was trying to do. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what style of football, what man we're trying to play. But he deserved to get the sack because obviously West Ham might be not a top 4, top 5, but the players are better. But the players are better where they was under the players are a lot better than that. That you know what I'm saying? Like Lopetegui, you were making a lot of the players worse. Paqueta isn't a bad player. We all know that Paqueta isn't a bad player, but Lopetegui made him look like a scrub at times. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And we're saying with certain other players. So yeah, like they've got Kudos as well. They've got Somerville as well. I always thought Somerville was a decent player when I've seen him at Leeds. He was actually one of the players who I rated at Leeds. I think he's a decent player, and I think Graham Potter. Obviously, he's got some good players there already. I think if the West Ham board managed to give him more of his own players as well, I think West Ham can finish. West Ham can finish in a decent position in the table. They could possibly get Europe under Graham Potter as well. So I think this is actually for West Ham. I think this is actually a good appointment for once. This is one of their better appointments that they've made, because, like you said, you're going to see identity, and Graham Potter adapts a lot depending on the opposition that he come up against. If he wants to play a back three, back four, back five, etc. You know what I'm saying? So his in-game management is like one of his biggest strengths. So yeah, I think West Ham should be happy with that.
I completely hear. Very quickly, Fran, do you have anything you wanted to add to it before we go to the next section?
Yeah. Potter will do well at West Ham, man. He'll do well at West Ham. Listen, regardless of the stuff that I said about him at Chelsea and I wanting him at the job and stuff, and I don't rate him highly like everyone else did, but West Ham is the sort of good job for him. Chelsea fans that are trying to do this word of beef thing is crazy. Just leave him alone, man. Because he's not a Havertz or something. This isn't funny. Just leave him alone. Leave Potter alone. Let him cook at West Ham, and hopefully he wins them another trophy so we can use that to laugh at Arsenal.
Yeah. Anything to laugh at Arsenal. I can't believe hear that. But listen, let's go to the final point, final thing we're going to talk about before we do the match predictions and get out of here. Let's quickly talk about it, man. Nottingham Forest won. Liverpool won. Liverpool dropping points, and is the title race back on, guys?
Yeah, right.
I mean, look. Okay, with all the seriousness, right?
What about Arsenal? Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
No. I would say this very quickly. Shout out to Nottingham Forest, man. They're having a great season. They played amazingly well against Liverpool, right? I would say they'll feel hard done by not to leave there with a win. I mean, they almost did a double against Liverpool this season. Like considering Liverpool have barely lost this season at all in our competitions, the fact that they potentially did a double against them was incredible. And Chris Wood, man, he's got 13 goals in the league now. That's his 13th league goal. Diogo Jota ended up scoring from a corner kick. It was a very, very good game. Very, very good game. Right? At the end of the day, I would say, honestly, I still don't think the title race is on for me. I think that when it comes down to it, Liverpool, they always say the mark of champions is not always winning games every single week. It's games when you're not really playing well, when you look like you're going to be losing games, and then you get a point out of a losing position, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of what mark of champions are. So I think that when it comes to Liverpool, it was just one of those games where, they just played against a team that were on it that day, and they still left that stadium with a point. So what did you guys think of the game? Very quickly, Mike.
Obviously, again, had to watch the highlights, but Nottingham Forest, I was saying this to Prime earlier, it's impressive what they're doing, because eventually, like, you look at, obviously, teams like us, teams like Forest, whatever, teams that are outside the big six, when they're doing this well, they're like, the wheels will fall off eventually. So when is it going to happen? But it hasn't happened. And it's just like, well, the class is permanent sort of thing, and it's been permanent for time. My also thing it is with this as well, I said this earlier, only 3 of their back 4 are really settled. They've been changing their left back around a lot, because Moreno's been injured at times, so Nico Williams had to fill in or whatever. But Ola Aina, Murillo, and Milinkovic have been very key. towards that
Right.
defense. That the back four, they've been very consistent. Matt Sells in goal as well. Their midfield has been really consistent. Gibbs, White, Hudson, Odoi, Elanga, Chris Wood. That front four and a counter. Nobody really wants to face that. Nobody really wants to open up and show them space because they're all interchanging as well. Chris Wood, not only is he great in the air, but he's running in behind. He's not the fastest, but he's smart. He's smarter than some of these defenders. He'll have the movement to get ahead of them. He's experienced. He'll use his experience. Hudson Odoi and Elanga, they're not made for the top 6 clubs because there's different pressure there. But they can be a big fish in a small pond sort of thing. Not for us a small club, but in a smaller pond, if you know what I mean. They can embrace themselves a lot more. Obviously, like also to Liverpool, like great work by Slot. 2 subs straight on, they make an impact. Mikez and Jota, like literally, they go on the pitch instantly. Mikez gets the assist, instant Jota goal. That's great substitutions, and straight on the corner as well. So fair play to them. Obviously, Arsenal are in the title race, but they're not going to win it. Like we know, like, but it's mathematical, like whatever, like. But I don't think I've never thought they were going to win it. I don't think anyone's going to challenge Liverpool for it. And my only thing is, once you're at the top, it's best not to get complacent. They haven't been the best as of the past month in terms of performances.
Right.
So hopefully the grinding out stage, and they can just carry it on where they've got the quality to really disprove most teams. But also coming up against Manchester United at home, cool. You should still win that, in my opinion, at Anfield. But also against these are still tougher games because it's still a rivalry. And Nottingham Forest also don't like Liverpool either, as I said on Sunday.
There's a mini history there, yeah.
Yeah. The whole 80s things and stuff like with Liverpool, just grind out results. You've got the quality, Salah, Trent, etc., Van Dijk. Despite all the media stuff going on there, handling that still handling that quite well, in my opinion. Despite all the circus, because they're still top of the league at the end of the day. Like people can call this, a terrible league or whatever. The manager's just come in. Everyone that's meant to be competing for titles had injuries, so there's no excuse there. And everyone's got a transfer window. So nobody's got an excuse in general. It's not like none of them have got the resources to invest. So with Nottingham Forest as well, I think just carry on what they're doing. If they can get top 4, even if they can get Europe this season, listen, if they drop out of the top 4, nobody should be giving them shit. Who predicted Nottingham Forest to finish in the top 4? Who predicted Nottingham Forest to finish in Europe? No one. So if they finish in Europe, even let's say hypothetically they were meant to drop out to the Conference League. Let's say hypothetically, doesn't matter. They still get European nights. They haven't had a European night in decades. They can enjoy that. Their fans will enjoy that. And the squad they're building, it's smart. It's good recruitment. I
hear you, Mike, but I'll say this: when it comes to Nottingham Forest, they definitely have European history. Honestly, I'm excited to see. I like when clubs like this who actually have like history in Europe actually make it to the Champions League or in the Europa League. Basically, it's just like, well, you are where you belong. You understand what I'm saying, right? You're European royalty. Like, let's be real. If Nottingham Forest go to the Champions, obviously it's gonna be like the younger generation will not know who Nottingham Forest is, but history will say this is actually one of the European heavyweights. They're European, bro. They've won 2 Champions Leagues. They've won 2 Champions Leagues, bro. Come on, man.
It'd be like Villa this season when people didn't realize how much
exactly. But here's the thing: you talk about Villa. Nottingham Forest have a bigger European history than even Nottingham. Nottingham Forest have a bigger European history than even Aston Villa. They've won the same amount of Champions Leagues as Chelsea. Let's be real. Like, I know they've won it a long time ago, but still, bro, winning it is winning it. You understand what I'm saying? So they definitely do have the history there. But Prime, very quickly, man, what did you think of the game, bro?
Yeah, this is why I predicted Forest to win 2-1 because I thought they could actually get something from this game. It was close. It was fairly close, but that just shows not just the quality of Forest this season that they can. They're unbeaten against Liverpool, right? Didn't they win the first?
They're going to end the season unbeaten against
Liverpool. They can get 4 points off of Liverpool this season is brilliant, and also it shows the quality of Liverpool and Slot that he was able to make changes and get away with a point when I guess maybe arguably on the balance of play. I mean, the point is fair, I guess, because of how Liverpool played in the second half. But arguably, maybe you could say Forest could have snuck a win. They've been. This is class. Like, this is This is not like a 5-game run or a 10-game run or whatever. Like this is what they're doing is class. Is it enough to still push for the title? I mean, it could be, to be fair, because the fact that there's no pressure on Forest, they could just keep doing what they're doing. They can just keep winning games. And the fact of Liverpool too, like, Liverpool will keep dropping points this season. But I mean, they'll still win the league. But Liverpool will keep dropping points this season. So,
Yeah, they will.
As long as Forest are still there, who knows what could happen? Arsenal will still be in the title race, but obviously.
I mean, let's be real. Let's be real. The reason, if we're gonna be real, Prime, and I'll let you continue, right? If we're gonna be very honest, the only reason why we're not really taking anything about this title race thing serious is because even if Liverpool drop points, but the rest of the team is the rest of the challenges are gonna drop points too. Like City drop points against Brentford, right? Arsenal, like we know Arsenal won against Spurs, but do you think Arsenal they're gonna go on a run now? Do you think this team can go on a run? That's the thing.
Yeah, but that's far. Liverpool City are in this title race; they're out. But yeah, I know. I've been saying that. Like Arsenal will be fine.
You were saying that you guys were going to challenge for the league. Look at what's happened to you guys the past week.
But the people that were saying that were foolish because they were a 2-month run. But with Forest, what they're doing is actually permanent for this season. And like, how will they get top 4?
Love it.
Possibly, they're in a good favor too. But like what Mike said, even if they get Europa League or Conference League football, what that could do for them as a club. Bro, like so long as they invest properly in even if they get Conference League, right, and they invest properly in the summer like they've been doing, they could win that Conference League next year.
Yeah,
and that is massive for
them. Imagine if they win a European trophy again.
And this is why I keep saying for these, like in Spain, they take these competitions seriously.
We don't discriminate when it comes to trophies.
Why I keep saying in the Prem, you guys. We need to start doing this.
Yes.
Take these competitions. West Ham did it when they were in the Conference League. Spurs the season beforehand it didn't. Spurs fans laughed and said, they said if we win it, rivals will laugh at us. Well, you got knocked out in the group stages, and
everybody still laughed at you.
It looks like it's more
You know what's funny? Well, winning when you take tournaments like this seriously, like Carabao Cup, Conference League, these trophies that you think are small. Winning a trophy always does something to the footballer's mind. When you beat teams in a competition, it triggers something in your head. It triggers something in your players' heads. This is why, unfortunately, Prime, when it comes to like when you watch international tournaments, this is why England never win tournaments. Because England don't have that winning mentality. They only consider some trophies more important than others. Like, let's be real. English fans don't care about the Nations League. You understand what I'm saying? They don't care about the Nations League. That's why they got relegated in it.
Yeah, but this is what I was.
But my point is, look at Spain. Spain just won the Euros, right? Spain just won the Euros, right? The team that they had there, a lot of these players were winning Europa Leagues with Sevilla. Some of them were in the Conference League final, right? Like, that's just my point. When you take this, like, if you're one of these teams that doesn't discriminate when it comes to trophies, it does something to you, to your players, because when it comes to big tournaments, they'll be like, we have this mentality of always turning up for big trophies, for trophies in general. When it's a trophy, we're there to win it. You understand what I'm saying? We're there to win it. English fans don't do that. English fans are like, oh, it's the Carabao Cup, doesn't matter. Europa League doesn't matter. Conference League doesn't matter. It's like, all right, cool.
But yeah, like as I was saying, the fact that people don't take these trophies seriously, that's why you have clubs like Brighton that haven't won a trophy in their entire history. Like, that's how you get through things like that. Like Sevilla have won 4 Europa Leagues, I think. 5. They won 3, maybe 3 on the bounce. That, people can laugh, but like stuff like that is actually important. Winning trophies is actually important, but you'll have people that say that they don't want to win the Carabao because it's embarrassing or whatever, or people will laugh at Europa League. But it all adds to your trophy count.
But see, Prime, think about it this way: if Arteta had won if he had won a Carabao Cup, he would have probably won the Premier League by now. Because the players would have probably had that winning mentality, bro. Because they don't take the Carabao Cup and FA Cup because it's already won the FA Cup, right? And they don't take the Carabao Cup seriously because it's not a big trophy. And they don't take. That's why in the Europa League they get knocked out by teams like Sporting.
But it can't
They were in the
Community Shield.
Champions League
Olympia
against
Arcos.
Porto, and they had to beat them on penalties.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah.
but they don't take any of this like seriously, and it's just. I think it's. I don't know. I just think it's quite embarrassing. Like, what if? Again, like whether they'll get a top four, I actually don't know. But if they're in Europa, if they're in conference, they should be one of the favorites to win. And so long as they can keep their best players, like Murillo and Morgan Gibbs White,
Great
they
player.
can keep their best players. There's no reason why they shouldn't actually go and target the Europa next season to win, or target the Conference League next season to win, like West Ham did. Like the season before, they actually won the Conference League. They got to the Europa League semi-finals, I think.
Yep.
And they only lost because you had
the team that went on to win
lost
it.
lost because Cresswell got
like last season West Ham were in Europa, they were in the Conference League last season, and again they only got knocked out because they had injuries to their squad.
Europa League last season.
Winning these games actually matters, and it shows the fact that West Ham or Villa have Emery, who actually targets these competitions. West Ham last season, you guys had David Moyes. Forest now they have Nuno, but you have clubs like Arsenal and Spurs that don't care about these cup competitions. It's crazy. Like there's a reason why Chelsea are taking the Conference League seriously. It's a trophy. It adds more to our trophy count.
It adds to your collection.
It can help these young players to push for next season because they've actually won something. Like winning, I keep saying winning breeds winning. That's why I never took that Poch's Spurs side seriously, because you guys didn't win anything.
Because they just the cups, right?
I kept saying if they took the cup competition seriously for a season and they ended up finishing third, that could have pushed them next year to go win. And it also helps you attract players, because if the top players are looking at your project and they're seeing that you guys, maybe you're finishing second, you're in a title race, but you're still not ultimately winning anything, what does that mean? Declan Rice won the Conference League at West Ham, went to Arsenal saying that I want to win trophies, I don't want to end my career with nothing. You've been at Arsenal now, by the end of the season, there'll be 2 seasons, and the only trophy you've won is at West Ham. That's embarrassing. You went there for 100 mil. Why do you keep doing that? You went there for 100 mil.
Hey, there's 100 million, bro.
You went there for 100 mil, and you still don't have like a trophy to show. You're meant to be one of the best players and etc. And this goes to a lot of players at Arsenal, and you don't have anything. Just like that Poch's Spurs side, you have the best striker, best centre back, best this, best that. I have nothing to show for this period. Leicester, they have for that until they got relegated. That 4-year span. They have a Prem. They were in the Champions League. I think they got to the Champions League round of 16, or maybe it was round of 16 Champions League.
Quarterfinals
for them
against Atletico.
Which for them is an achievement, quarterfinals, because they're not Leicester, even though they're well known because of that Prem, they're not a big club, and they have an FA Cup, and I think they beat City in the Community Shield. Considering they've done that in that span. But in that 4-year span, Spurs have nothing to show. Arsenal have nothing to show. West Ham have a Conference League. In my opinion, that's actually embarrassing. But whatever. The fact that people disrespect trophies is crazy, and that's why Omar is right. England don't win anything because they're supposed to be a big nation, but you don't take things seriously.
Yeah, you don't.
England fans were telling me that they don't care about the Nations League, but then when they got relegated from Group A to Group B, they were then hating on Southgate for being relegated.
By the way, why
can
I just remind you? Can we just remember? Did Spain? I think did they win or did they reach the final of the Nations League?
They won
the Euros
the year before. They won the Nations League. Yeah.
No, they won it or they reached the final. I think they lost to. They played France in the final.
No, they won the Nations League, and also the current Spain manager was manager of their under-21 side, and
I already knew about that story. But
that's my point. But
my point is, that's the point I'm saying, right?
Winning
exactly.
That's why in this country, That's why, like, you have, because majority of people in this country, they're not all supporting top 6 clubs. They're supporting clubs like a etc. And they don't rate winning. They rate just the passion and the lads gave everything. But for England, when the lads do
That's
give
the same
everything,
thing they do with
you guys
that's the same thing they do with these players, bro.
Exactly. You guys, and again, I rate Declan Rice. It's not an insult to him, but you guys will put the likes of Declan Rice on a huge pedestal. But when you play a Euros final against a Jorginho, against a Rodri, against a Zubimendi, and he looks like the worst midfielder on the pitch, you're then surprised. Because as great as Rice is winning the ball, he's not on the same technical level as these guys.
Even Amrabat, bro.
That's England in general. You guys played the midfield of Lampard and Gerrard, and you left Carrick at home. That's your
exactly.
level.
That is on you.
You don't rate technical players. You stuck Foden out on the left wing. You played Bellingham in midfield. You started telling Kane to drop deep in.
Bro,
and that's why I don't respect England as a nation. I look at England just saying I look at Ireland. You're a small nation.
Prime. Just to add to your point, right? And the reason I'm doing this is because I don't want to forget, because I usually forget the points I'm supposed to be saying. That's why I always like to react to your points, right? Do you guys remember when France used to constantly, France this past years, forget about in the past, right? Because I was about to make a point of why they always have to bring Sissoko in their team. Moussa Sissoko, even though he was technically not having a good club season, but for some reason his manager would always play him in these tournaments, right?
Yeah.
What about the fact, right, that this past summer, Deschamps decided to bring N'Golo Kante, 33-year-old N'Golo Kante, who's playing in the Saudi Arabian League, to his team. And this guy, he brought him in, and he was their best player. See, this is my point, isn't it, right? You bring a player who can bring something to your system. Deschamps understood that there's no one in this current France team that can do Kante's job in that midfield. You understand what I'm saying, right? So he was like, yo, I don't care if this guy is playing in Saudi. I'll go and watch him. If he's still doing well in Saudi, I'm going to go bring him into my first team.
would have done that to Pogba as well. Watch, the World Cup, Pogba will play.
Yeah, if Pogba gets a team, let's say he signs for Marseille, let's say he does. If he goes to Marseille and he starts playing constantly, regularly, every single week, bro, don't be surprised if you guys see him in that World Cup team. Do not be surprised, because let me tell you something. Pogba's role in Deschamps' France team, nobody can do his role. That's why if you remember in the last Euros, bro, they tried to put Kamavinga, Tchouameni, and all these guys in there. These guys can't do Pogba's job.
No,
man. I'm telling you, man. Pogba, if Pogba finds a team, any team, bro. If he finds let's say, because people say he could be signed for Marseille. If he goes to Marseille and does well, let's say takes them to Champions League and he's actually that's GG.
Yeah, Pogba agree with bro. I'll say that would be sensational. Oh,
I mean, I would love to see him back.
Oh my, big nations. You know how England fans will, or England's like Premier League watchers, they'll complain about the favoritism managers do, right? As much as I don't rate Deschamps, at least he will do the favoritism in the right way. Kante, playing in Saudi, he's finished, but it's the right favoritism because Kante is worth bringing, right? But with England, the favoritism they'll do is like a Maguire, a Henderson, Calvin Phillips. You didn't do favoritism with Michael Carrick when he was your best holding midfielder for years.
Because you know what it is. Because you know why? Because he wasn't a fancy name. It's kind of like during the Galacticos era when Real Madrid Florentino Perez decided to get rid of Makalele, because Makalele wasn't the name of Zidane. He didn't have the name like Beckham. He didn't have the pool like those guys had. But guess what? When he saw Makalele to Chelsea, you see how that ended up turning out for Real Madrid?
But
they had to swallow their pride and sign Gravesen, who still couldn't do the job.
When he brought Kante, who doesn't maybe have the legs to be going 90 minutes, he at least built the team around him so he can perform. Pogba, when he brings Pogba back, he will build a team around Pogba to protect him and perform. But England, they'll bring Bellingham, who had a brilliant season for Real Madrid, scoring goals, but they won't build the system for him to play. They won't build a system for Kane to play. They'll just bring all these players together and expect them to do well. They don't, because they don't fit each other. At least Deschamps a fraud, but at least that's what he will try to do. We'll try and make sure.
Yeah, you're right. Deschamps does favoritism. He does favoritism in the right areas. And listen, you're right. At the end of the day, I've always said this with managers, but even if you look at this current, if you look at the Spain team, right? No one who was looking at the Spain team was thinking the Spain team was good enough to win the Euros. Maybe they might have been favorites, one of the favorites, but nobody was putting them at top 3 because everyone was looking at their team saying, "Bro, you guys are relying on a teenager in Yamal. You have a player. Your left wing is a Bilbao player. Your striker is has flopped basically in every club that he's been, right? In Morata. Your midfield." You don't like, bro. Where was the midfield? The old midfield? Like, there's no more Busquets, there's no more Iniesta, there's no Xavi, there's no even Thiago in this team anymore. Thiago, you know what I mean, right?
Because England have a philosophy and the way of playing, it works.
No, but my point is, if you look at the names, because these people are obsessed with names. This is why I'm always said this, right? When it comes to international football, names are so flipping overrated. Let me tell you why names are overrated. Because there are some nations that don't have the names that every time they go to these tournaments always play well. You understand what I'm saying, right? Look, even when you're watching the Africa Cup of Nations like we do, Prime, look at the Cape Verde team, bro. Which players do you know in their squad? But that team beat Ghana in the AFCON. They did the quarterfinals and lost on penalties. That team constantly went there in
South Africa got to the semi-finals of the last AFCON.
Bro, I didn't know a single player in the squad.
You guys, the majority of their squad, I think 20 players from their squad, all came from the South
African League,
and the majority of them came from the same teams, more or less.
Yeah, basically, it's kind of like in the 2010s. You know what it is, Prime? Yeah. Prime. It's kind of like in the 2010s when Spanish was basically was Barcelona. That was
transition. And that's the thing. England don't do.
What did you say, Max?
Yeah, it's like in the Euros for England. Gordon should have played a lot more. Like, I'm not being biased. Bowen should have played a lot more. Watkins should have played a lot more. These are not names. And the thing is, the mentality of the clubs, the fans of the clubs, goes through to the country. It's a mentality for our country. It's a whole country thing. It's probably a thing outside of football as well. That's our conversation for another day. But with England and Spain, and the mentality is different. With, as you said about the cups, no one takes anything serious. They don't care. They're here for vibes. They're here for just drunken vibes. But in Spain, they're here to win trophies.
And that's why.
But also, they don't go off names. They don't give in to the media nonsense.
But you know why?
There's no backbone in this country. Once you give in to the big names, they've completely messed up. And that's why you get names together that just change.
No, but even the teams that, before you go, Prime, even when you look at some of the teams that have won tournaments with big names, right? You will always find either one or two players who were in the starting lineup who weren't big names. Like, I think of, like, when you even look at the Spain team that dominated. That Spain team had Capdevila. Does anyone know who Capdevila is? Capdevila was in that team in all the 3 years that they won, all the 3 trophies that they won. He was
he's a left back. No?
He was playing for Villarreal, right? But guess what, bro? You had what's his name? Marco Senna, the Brazilian Spanish midfielder, who was the best player in Euro 2008. He was in the World Cup in 2010, right? That midfield was better. Obviously, in the midfield in 2010, their midfield was much better, so he couldn't break into that midfield. But in 2008, he was in that midfield with Xavi and Iniesta. You understand what I'm saying? Right? You look at even the France team that won in 2018, right? Moses Sissoko was in that team. What's his name? Who else was in that team? Flipping Matuidi was in that team.
Yeah, the France team. That midfield was Sissoko, Pogba, Kante, Matuidi. You had Matuidi. You had Matuidi playing left wing, by the way.
Yeah, Mbappe and Giroud up front of it.
And that's the thing. Like, if you do want to have names, that's fine, but you build around them. Look at Croatia. Their big name is Modric, right? But they've built around Modric for them to succeed. But also, Modric doesn't have, as much as he's won everything multiple times over, he doesn't have the big ego. He will sacrifice for the team. The guy's in his mid-30s playing
39, I think.
Prime, bro, he's going to be 40 next month.
Bro, the guy's playing 100. In the last 2 tournaments he's been at, he's playing 120-minute games like 3 times on the bounce for his nation, not coming off because he wants to give his all. But for England, they won't. None of these big names will sacrifice themselves. None of them will sacrifice what they want to do for England to just succeed. You won't set, because if you want to build around Bellingham, that's fine. But for Bellingham to be that box crasher, You need other players to function around him. If you want to build around a Kane or a Saka or a Foden or whoever it is, that's fine. But build around them, that's something England have never done. You've had Rooney, you've had Gerrard, Lampard, Beckham, etc., and you want to throw them all together, but you don't build around them.
Yeah, you don't
France
go around.
did.
You don't sacrifice. You don't. And also, let me just say this, right? That golden generation, the reason that golden generation failed, I've always said this, is because yes, this wasn't because people tried to make the excuse of these players like Lampard and Gerrard couldn't work because in the same midfield. Nah, that's BS. You know what the problem was? The system wasn't right. You understand what I'm saying, right? When you have two players, you got it. Like I always say this, when it comes to playing for your nation, I don't care. It doesn't matter who is the guy who is basically getting the headlines, as long as we win in the end. You understand what I'm saying, right? I'm always under this impression of, if you are the golden generation, you're all superstars, you all want to win. What matters to you most? What matters to you most? Do you want a personal adulation, or are you more interested in winning the World Cups and the Euros and basically succeeding as a nation?
They want when they're big players, they want the egos, but you can't.
But that's my point.
For that
I've always said this, but it takes a manager with balls to then sit there and say, you know what it is? If you want to sacrifice your ego, if you don't want to sacrifice your ego for the team, I'll bench you, or you can retire from the national team.
Yeah,
bro, it doesn't matter, bro. I've always said this.
I agree, but with England, they've never done that. Like, you remember
that's the thing, and that's why they don't win.
Brazil, late 90s, early 2000s, the amount of like GOAT players in that 11 alone, and yet you had players playing out of position, but it still worked within the system. But it wasn't just the fact that they were all bowlers, by the way. They actually.
What about players like Denilson? You had Denilson in the midfield. You had flipping Gilberto Silva. What's his name? The guy that the flop that United bought. What was his name? Is it Roque Junior? Whatever his name was.
Yeah.
Right. He was one of their fullbacks. He was their fullback. But my point is this, right? You look at all that team. Look at all these teams, right? You just mentioned it. That was a golden generation. Like, that's one of the few golden generations who was stuck from goalkeeper to last man, right? And actually ended up succeeding, actually winning World Cups and stuff like that. Why? It's not just because they had a good manager. I want you to understand also, bro. You see, in Brazil, there's a different kind of expectations that the fans have that other nations don't have. You understand what I'm saying, right? Ronaldo R9 was saying it himself. He said, bro, when we went to the final in France 98, what do you think to happen when we came back home? You think that the fans treated us as heroes? No, they were angry because we didn't bring the trophy. Because to them, if you don't win the trophy, you might as well get out of the group stages. It doesn't matter. You didn't bring the trophy. That mindset of winning or nothing, but that idea of winning or nothing is what made the players have to put their egos down and actually play alongside each other. You understand what I'm saying, right? Because they understood, if we don't win, bro, we all go home as losers. There's no such thing as, Ronaldo scored this amount of goals, or Rivaldo was incredible though. You know how they basically sit there and say, but we may have not won it, but hey, Bellingham was incredible in that tournament. Cole Palmer did well.
Or R9 did well. That's what they'll do. In England, they'll be like,
these countries don't do that. But yeah, that's the thing. These people don't do that in these nations. If we lose, you are all shit. I don't care if R9 comes home with the golden boot. You can keep that golden boot, bro. You didn't win with the golden trophy we wanted to see is the World Cup, and that's why in the 20.
But Omar, that's why I'll say, like, Brazil, that's basically like Real Madrid, like the pinnacle of international football. But for England, that's why I say England are basically Arsenal and Spurs, because we will praise Kane's golden boot or Pickford being in team of the tournament, Maguire being in team of the tournament. That's England. That's what Spurs do, right? When Kane was winning all those golden boots as a trophy, when Aubameyang won the golden boot, that's what we'll do. We'll praise it. Arsenal reached the quarterfinals of the Champions League for the first time in a decade, guys. Let's celebrate it. That's what we'll do. That's what people do. That's why I say England, you're not a big nation. You're not a big nation. But people don't want to listen to them.
And they'll still sing about something that happened about 60 years ago. They'll still sing about that. Yeah, man.
Bro, how do you get to 2 finals, 1 on home soil, and you don't win? Crazy.
Yeah, it's always the
Simple.
PR with
Listen,
England. That's what it is, bro. It's the PR, bro. That's what all it is.
yeah, yeah, but
And Arsenal.
listen, guys, I do want to quickly because yeah, we've been here for a long time. I feel like with this we could literally listen. When another time we should probably do this during the international break, right? When we get to internet, when we're doing True Ballers FC in the international break, we can actually talk about this and about nations and basically all of this stuff. Feel me, right? But
Yeah.
let's quickly do my predictions for the weekend games, right? Because we do have games in the weekend, guys. And we start on Saturday. Newcastle versus Bournemouth. Whoa, this is actually going to be a good game because both of these teams
Ooh.
are actually in good form. I
Mhm.
mean, I say that, but I would say Newcastle are on smoke right now, bro. They are on smoke right now in the form that they're in. Quickly, predictions. Mike's.
Oh, I think Newcastle just edge it 2-1. Bournemouth will play well, but Newcastle won like their last 6. So Newcastle 2-1.
Jeez, 6 wins in a row. Incredible. Fine. You're muted.
That's the first time in their history, by the way. No.
Crazy.
I think so, something like that. Yeah.
Crazy. Go ahead. Prime. Prediction.
What?
Newcastle versus Bournemouth.
I need them to lose so we can get back to top 4. No,
Newcastle. Okay.
realistically, 3-1 Newcastle.
All right. King.
I'm going 3-2 Newcastle.
Jeez. Wow. That's actually
Ah,
a
it's
close
good.
score. I'm going to go 2-1 Newcastle. Next up, Brentford at home against Liverpool.
Oh, that should be good because Brentford are being decent at home. So Brentford do score early at home as well. They do have a knack of scoring early goals at home as well. So
Hobbs and Shaw FC.
yeah, like I think I'm going with. I think Liverpool would just about win, but I think again it would be a high score. I think I might have to go 3-2 Liverpool. I think I'm going 3-2, but to Liverpool because I think it'd be a high scoring one. Yeah.
All right. Prime. He's really trying to think. He's like, yo, I got it.
Okay. I think Liverpool edge it. I'm going 3-2 Liverpool.
Liverpool 3-2. Prime.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Mike's.
3-1 Liverpool.
Yeah, I'm going 3-1 Liverpool as well, man. I'm not gonna lie. I know people talk about Brentford's home form. I don't see it. Leicester versus Fulham. Prime. I'm sorry, Mike's.
2-0 Fulham.
2-0 Fulham. Prime.
4-0 Fulham.
2-1 Fulham.
2-1 Fulham. I'm gonna go 2-0 Fulham, to be honest. Next up, West Ham versus Crystal Palace. Another London derby.
1-1.
1-1 at home. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Prime.
I'm going 2-0 Palace.
2-0
I need that clean sheet with no Chalobah.
2-0 Palace. Okay.
I need that clean sheet. I need that.
He's got his own. He's got his own agendas.
Yeah. I need that.
Well, okay, we see you.
Probably got that against Leicester.
Yeah, but now that he's at the club, I need a nose.
He wasn't there in the lineup, bro.
I know, but my agendas, man. Let me cook, man.
Yeah, let him cook, man. Let him cook.
Yeah.
King.
2-0 West Ham. I think West Ham would win 2-0.
2-0 West Ham. Okay. I'm gonna go 2-1 West Ham as well. 2-1 West Ham. Final game. Arsenal against Aston Villa. Okay.
Hey, Arsenal. Shame about the Arsenal. Hey,
Yeah, at home though. They're playing at home
I'm
against.
going Aston Villa 2-0. I think it'd be the same score.
Woo!
I'm
Oh,
going
that
Aston
Emery,
Villa
bro.
2-0. I think
Okay.
Unai Emery's go to get the dagger in. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Also can't win any more trophies. They're not in the title race. You know, the Carabao Cup is an energy drink cup trophy. That's what they said when my team won it. But hey, but apparently
Uh,
the Carabao Cup is the best trophy to them now. So yeah,
nah,
you
I
know what
hear
I'm
you,
saying?
hear you. Prime. It's just taking his time. It's like, take your
One
time.
nil Arsenal.
1-0 Arsenal. Okay. That's actually a very realistic scoreline.
I don't because everyone's expecting Villa to win.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing, isn't it?
Because Arsenal are the sort of team where when you don't expect anything from them, they'll do something. When you expect when
Crazy,
there's
isn't it?
pressure, they'll crumble. So 1-0 Arsenal. I don't want to say it though, but
Yeah, I hear.
Yeah, I hear it.
Next.
1-1.
1-1. You
I'll
know,
take a
that's
1-1.
actually what I was gonna go for, to be perfectly honest. Because here's the thing, right? I don't know, man. I just think that Una Emery just has this mental edge against I mean, to be fair, you know, they've had a few wins against them, to be fair. But I'll say this. Una Emery, man, every time they play against Villa, it's never easy. It's never an easy
No.
game whenever they play Villa, ever. I'm gonna probably go 1-1 as well. I'm gonna go 1-1 as well. I'm gonna go for it. Okay, next one. I'm gonna go. Let's go on to Sunday. First game: Everton versus Tottenham. Two shit teams playing each other.
Hey, respect
Man.
everything, man. Respect everything.
No,
Mike.
fuck Everton.
Why is that?
Boys to lose again. 2-0. 2-0 Tottenham.
Prime.
2-0 Everton, man. My gaffer. Why is that?
You fuck off.
Why is that?
All right, King.
I'm going 2-2. 2-2.
2-2.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go 1-0 Everton. Next up, Manchester United at home against Brighton. King. Start with you.
Against Brighton. Oh. I don't know, man. I don't know with this team, bro. I think it'd be. I'm going one. I think it'd be 1-1. You know. I think I got a feeling. I got a feeling we're gonna draw against Brighton.
Damn.
I think. I think it's gonna be 1-1. Like, I just don't trust my attack. I think he will start. I think Erasmus will start. I think.
Bro, if he starts
You know what I'm
Rasmus
saying?
again, yeah, it could be peak.
God,
I'm gonna go.
yeah.
Go ahead, Prime. I'm smiling. I don't know what he's planning.
What was your prediction, King?
I would predict. He said 1-1.
1-1. I said 1-1. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I agree. 1-1.
1-1. Mike's.
Yeah, unanimous. 1-1.
Should I go for a shark scoreline in this one?
What, the shock score I'm being United win?
No. I don't know, man. I don't know why something is telling me Brighton could leave the stadium with a win, guys. It could be like,
They did last season.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go shark result. Manchester United lose 2-1.
Yeah, we've struggled against Brighton, especially at Old Trafford. Like we haven't
That's the
done
thing.
well
They
against
actually
Brighton.
do have a good record at Old Trafford for some reason. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
In general.
How is it that we're in 2025 and Danny Welbeck is better than a Man United number 9 that costs 7?
Dude,
Yeah, and Danny Welbeck will score against us because Danny Welbeck always seems to bag against Manchester United.
You probably get the second goal, man.
Yeah. Big up Welbeck though. You know what I'm saying? Big up Danny.
Okay, this one, rack up the scorelines, guys. Nottingham Forest at home against Southampton.
4-0 Nottingham Forest.
Prime.
The floodgates.
Prime, go ahead, Prime.
They're just gonna get analed for much long, man.
This guy, he's trying to get my work. He's trying to get my channel canceled here over here.
Yeah.
Prime is really thinking about it. He's like, yo, give me some time, bro. I gotta think.
Well, you know what? 1-0 Southampton. Leslie of the Chocolate Massacre.
Okay, shock result on Prime side. He says Southampton are gonna get out of there with a surprise win. All right,
Hey,
cool.
Arsenal, Southampton drop points. Arsenal win. Hey,
Oh my days! Yo. This guy's gonna be so smart next week if that happens. Talk to me, man.
Yeah, I'm going 3-0 Nottingham. 3-0
I'm
Nottingham.
gonna go 3-0. I'm gonna go 3-0 with Nottingham as well. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Next game, final game on Sunday. Ipswich at home against Manchester City. King.
I think City is. I don't know. City obviously they had a stroke of wins, but then obviously drew against Brentford. Obviously, this isn't the greatest City, but I think Ipswich, even though they do play some good football, I think City will win. I think City are vulnerable defensively. I'm going 3-1 City.
All right, see it. Prime.
Five
Prime.
City.
5-1 City. Okay, this is gonna be absolute destruction. We see you, Mikes. Ipswich at home against Manchester City.
1-1.
1-1. Oh yeah, that shock scoreline for Mike's 1-1 draw. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Ipswich, even though I think they lost today against Brighton, but Ipswich they really do give it a fight, guys. They're not one of these. They're not like Southampton who are just basically rolling over and dying. So yeah, I'm gonna go 3-1 City, unfortunately, for Ipswich. Final game of the league week is gonna be on Monday. That's Chelsea versus Wolves. Let's start with you, Prime. You're at home against Wolves.
And thank you everyone for watching True Ballers FC. We'll be here next week. Like and subscribe, people. Please. Oh, the stream is still running. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, it's still running. Bro. Yeah. You can't run away from the smoke, bro. Don't run away from the smoke, man. Come on.
Yeah. I've been predicting wins and draws, and it's not helping during this run. So you know what?
If he predicts
2-0 Wolves. 2-0 Wolves. Hopefully that helps.
Wow.
Okay, tell you what. He needs to get a forfeit if Arsenal win. If Chelsea win. Forfeit. What forfeit?
Why do I need to get a forfeit if Chelsea win?
No, because you're trying to do the whole reverse psychology.
Omar,
you're
you're not getting your get back. I'm sorry.
Whatever, man. Whatever. Maybe next time.
Bro, it only works if I suggest to do a forfeit. No.
Whatever, man. Whatever. Anyway. Oh yeah. By the way, Dennis DeGrace says Arsenal must against Wolves. Basically,
Chelsea must. Yeah.
Chelsea must against Wolves. 5 Premier wins unbeaten. To be fair, yeah, you guys have a good record against Wolves. Mike, what do you think?
Wolves are tired, man.
Chelsea are tired.
Wolves are so tired, though. That's so tired.
So,
Wolves hype. 2-0 Chelsea.
2-0 Chelsea. King.
3-1 Chelsea, I think. Yeah, 3-1 Chelsea.
I'm gonna go 3-0 Chelsea. Chelsea.
Man like Jadon Sancho, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Jadon Sancho goal, GA. You know what I'm saying? Cole Palmer with 2 goals.
Guess what, bro? Next week when they win 3-0 Prime, you're not allowed to celebrate. Because you're being you're not allowed to celebrate this victory, bro.
I don't remember the last time that we scored.
Hey, listen, that's what I'm saying, man. So if you guys scored 3,
last time we scored 3 or more goals was against Spurs.
That's my point. So guess what? That's my point. So when you guys win, because you didn't believe enough, You don't get to. That's your punishment. No celebration for you. You just get to sit in the corner. You just get to sit in the corner while the Chelsea fans celebrate. You just sit in the corner and just take account of what you did. But
Yeah,
listen, guys, we are
I'm
going to
not-
be closing out, man. We've been here for almost 3 hours, man. What a show! What a show! This show is always a show I look forward to every single week, man. Because you always know, man. Like at the end of the day, we always take the piss, but we always like to talk about football, man. It's a beautiful, it's an amazing panel over here. Big up to Mikez every time, always here every single week. Same to you too, Prime. Make sure you guys subscribe to Mike's channel, West Ham Fan. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Mike's. His channel is in the title, guys. You got to go into the descriptions. You will actually find all of the channels of all the panel members in here, guys. All of their channels are in the description. Big up to Prime every single time. He's always here as well. And big up to King, man, representing Manchester United. Big up to
Big
you.
man.
And thanks for turning up. But
Yeah,
yeah,
of
man,
course.
an amazing 10 out of 10 stream, man. Big up to everybody who's here. Big up to Will and Football Carnage for the raid earlier in the stream. Big up to you every single time. Speaking of raids, we're going to be redirecting to Sarcasm City because he's doing I think he's doing UFC or boxing gaming streaming. So if you guys like gaming, make sure you guys go and send him some love. Put Omar BYT raid in the comments and put Ahmad the Goat as the raid in there, guys.
Yeah, man. I'm at the goal. I'm at the
But,
goal. I'm at the big high Osaka, but hey,
yeah, man. So
how you are,
Ahmad the Goat. Just put that in there.
Yeah, man.
So, yeah,
I'm at the
man.
goal, man.
Yeah,
Send
but
that.
listen, guys. Appreciate you guys for being here, guys. I know it's late in certain areas, man. So for those of you guys who started from this, who are here from the start of the stream to the end of the stream, big ups to you guys every single time. And like I always say when we end these streams, guys, make sure you guys like the video. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. Make sure you guys go to Sarcasm City and put Ahmad the Goat or Ivorian Messi in there as the raid. Omar BYT raid coming up. And peace, you guys. Take care.